All right, morning everyone. Welcome back. Let's just make sure this stream's up and running properly. Here we go. Okay, as always, going to start on the higher time frame, work our way down. Regular trading hours is the reason I've got this up this morning. I'm just interested in this gap here. Okay, need to be somewhat careful of this gap. We have gone wick to wick into these sort of 850s. 850s to 900 is of interest in this 5-day for me. I am said it to my team, I'm very unconvinced of the long thesis right now. Yesterday was nothing more than a squeeze up for a back test. Let me just close this door. All right, yesterday was nothing more than a squeeze up for a back test. And eventually those balls got wrecked. And then unfortunately they left it right until the end of the day. We did get a little bit of it in the Discord. But you can see, all right, there's the move down on a 4-hour. There's the back test in, and we're coming back inside. So if we think about this on a daily, I'm going to put it back into, let's make sure this is grey. Okay, we move back into regular and go for a daily. Well, you can see all we're doing is trading between the 5-day and the 20-day, right? Caught a bid at the 20-day, the old RBS zone where we had volume. This is the yearly volume, remember. This is where we get thicker. If we really start letting go, I think there's a move down into here. But until that point, all right, bulls are defending right now these sort of 350s that we talked about in the newsletter. And bears will try and defend this gap. So bears are going to try and defend previous day high, maybe all the way up to here. They don't really want it to drift into the previous week range, right? Bears will want to defend this and look for a retest of this low. Bulls will want to defend under here and look for a push up. This will be your range being built out, all right? We're going to build out some range here. We have an inside day. Most of yesterday was inside, other than, remember, that was all done overnight in pre-market. So you had inside day, inside here. We're building out the liquidity. And it's possible, if we get lucky, all right, we get a move down into here. Otherwise, if they start to reclaim, then you can't rule out a squeeze back up to the highs. We can think about a new measured move then. If they're really going to catch it without moving lower, all right, then we're going to move our measured move up into, getting into 27,000. So that's what I'm looking at today. Inside rotation until proves otherwise for a bigger move outside of it. We did just have a lovely move in the last 10-15 minutes, which I was waiting for the open, but they've done it without me. So there we go. It is what it is. Okay, so we move into the hourlies. You can see these same levels. Okay, we walked down. Remember, this was all done overnight. This is what's really important here, that you understand this. Where's our 4 o'clock? 4, okay, here. Right, all of this is overnight, so I'm not even considering that. I'd love to come back down for that in a New York session, which we haven't done, which is why I'm not convinced about the bullish move up, all right? Yes, failed auction, blah, 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 but no volume, all right? Done overnight. Don't trust it. Don't trust this down here at all. So this here, squeeze up yesterday from these bears being caught. And like I said, I was looking to fade yesterday. You would have seen me have numerous attempts. We did catch it quite a few times, but it wasn't until the end of the day when we came up way further than I thought. I thought they might fade it into here, but built out versus this, and we got that 1-2 leg down, and now we've bottomed out overnight. We've just retested this area where all those bulls got trapped yesterday, which is yesterday's point of control, and we're fading that back into this again. So yesterday's range is in here. Point of control is in here. We are currently rejecting point of control, coming back down to test value. All right. Bear traps will live under here, which is why ideally, unfortunately, it's already taken the best move away from me. Ideally, I wanted to be short in here in New York to cover some here and hold runners down in for this. And if we reject this to go lower, great. But it's taken my move away from me. It's taken it. Sometimes this is what happens. So what do we need to be careful of? Well, rotation in here, right? If they catch bears under here and reclaim, what are we building out? Yes, absolutely building that out, possibly to go and fill the gap and go higher, which is why I don't really want to be short of the lows. I will consider shorts in the lows if we start taking out back testing and staying heavy, all right? I'm not going to take breakout shorts down here. I think you're just asking for it at that point. Just consider yesterday's range and we are in it. We were inside it overnight. We're inside it yesterday and we're inside of it now. All right, this is your range building. So Effectively, just call it 900s to sort of 620s. That's the majority of your range. All right. In fact, the majority of it is really 880s to 680s. So 200 points of rotation, absolutely possible here all day long until they prove otherwise. And, you know, failed breakouts under here, failed breakouts over here, possible. Obviously, if we bid and hold, if we offer and reoffer, then we can get a continuation trade. So just be careful. I don't really want to trade in the midpoint of where we're at right now. I want to let it develop. And if we do develop, you know, if they are going to regain control, these bulls, then they're going to look for the gap fill. I just don't like that move, not based on what we saw yesterday. We'll get into why. You can see overnight, same kind of thing here. All right, yesterday, again, like I said, this was all done overnight the day before, so I'm not even considering this. You know, if we hold this, then I'd be more bullish, but we haven't even come down to test that. So New York print up yesterday, straight up, no structure, and once it let go, oh my god, it gave the whole thing back. Surprise, surprise. This was complete bullshit is the best way of me putting it. It's absolute squeeze, manipulation, whatever you want to call it. This is not genuine buying. There was a bid on the tape, but I think he was just trying to get up so he could get his exit. He was probably long here the day before and needed to get his exit. So he's bid it up so he can get out. So now we just range between here until we prove otherwise. All right, let's go lower time frame. I'll go through some of the reasons why I'm not uber bullish like maybe some of the other people at the moment. All right, 5 minute. Let's move down. ES looking at the same kind of thing. All right, going to open up. Slight gap down. We were gapping up. Slight gap down on ES. You can see the pivots that he's trying to hold. We can move this down. That's better. All right, so if ES starts reclaiming and basing above previous day high, then yes, we've got a chance for a slingshot higher, but I'd be watching for failed breakouts there. Be very, very cautious in a market. The reason being, think about who's trapped in this market. Let's just remove this, just like the Qs. Who's trapped right now? Who's trapped right now? Buyers up here. All right, that's who's trapped right now. And we've come up and tested them once. This was the big sell day that we had on Tuesday and sold. We tested them yesterday and sold into close. Failed breakouts can live above here. All right, and if we're going to just continue, we're going to continue. If we base above here, a different story. But I would need to see it base above, not just get above, base above. All right, easier to see the gaps when you go to the ETFs. You can see the clear gaps up here to be filled on the spiders up to 683 on the Qs. Gap fill technically is all the way up to 632. All right, so you can see the gaps nice and clear up there. In fact, let's do an alert on that just so I can remember when that gap's been filled. In fact, let's do it just slightly underneath. Okay, go through the mag quickly. Apple, slight gap down. Ranging, numerous inside bars here now. All right, you can see, here's your range in Apple. All right, just ranging, nothing to do in that. You're going to get chopped up if you're playing that. Again, I'm still just holding longs. Amazon, same kind of thing, protecting its low pivot that created that big high, big pullback in a range, nothing to do. If it lets go of this, okay, it's got another gap to give back all the way down into, well, I'd say 34s and then 22s. So until that point, ranging, building out liquidity for the next move, just like we are in the Qs and the spiders. Goog, all right, that's the one that got going. All right, so we've had relative weakness down here. Where is it? Where are we into a sell? Hang on, let's go for an hourly. Right, relative weakness down here, and then we started to grind out last month. Over 3 standard deviation, push to highs, solid pullback, basing above here for now. Is going to try and retest this supply. It's definitely bulls caught up there, so how it acts there will be important for the next move. It's probably a 61 fib. I would imagine 50 to 61 coming up on Goog. Meta continuing to get slammed. All right, continuing to get slammed here. Are we starting to base out? Yes. Yes, finally. Maybe at the start of a base here. We'll see. we'll see. But this is the range for a few days. If it can base above here, then it's got a chance to start moving up. We're pretty much opening flat on Meta. Microsoft getting nailed as well. These are the weak ones off earnings. They're good earnings, but they're being sold into. It was already priced in. Are we coming into a key pivot yet? Sort of, but wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that is very weak. When you come up and don't take the high and fade back into range, that's pretty weak. So be watching for that move all the way down to 92 right now. Nvidia starting to let go. All right, Nvidia took out those highs, starting to let go. We do have a slight gap up today off news, but doesn't look the best, does it? And again, this is just like the Qs. Look at this. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. That is the story for me, right? Nothing more than a squeeze up into supply and they slammed it. I'm not uber bullish on this. This is telling me we're not ready to go up right now, right? We're not ready to go up. There's still plenty of sellers up there at the moment. Tesla, same kind of story, all right? Tried to recover or did recover. But once we got up to where those buyers were trapped, it got hit. Not as hard as Nvidia down here, but watching Tesla this morning, remember Tesla announcement 4 p.m. today on whether Elon gets his $1 trillion care package. The other chips, nice recovery there from AMD. I'm still long in this some size, not too much, about 20%. So just going to try and hold on to that. Right, why am I not uber bullish? Okay, this for me yesterday was key. Now it has pulled back off it, but the Dixie was just driving higher and it was holding up there yesterday. We are starting to fade away from it now, so it might give us a little bit of room to breathe in the market. And the other thing, the big thing for me was here, which has started to pull back. Okay, the 10-year yesterday was looking very, very frothy. All right, this should not be going up with the market going up. So I was like, what are we doing here? But we are starting to see a bit of a pullback. So I'll have one eye on those today. If we're going to base out here on the 10-year and keep going upside, the market's going to struggle to move higher. If this just comes all the way back into the range down here, then, you know, no worries. Market can breathe again. But that had me a little bit spooked yesterday when I was looking at everything after the close. But it looks a little bit better now. So let's just see. Get back to the DAC. How are we doing for time? A couple of minutes left. Okay, so previous day, value area low pretty much hit. So if you did take that short from the old POC, you look good. All right, make sure you cover that down here. You can hold runners. I wouldn't be surprised if we need to squeeze up at open. Let's just change this somewhat now. I'm actually more interested in what's above it. So actually, let me just look left. There is a pivot there, but I'm not too fussed. Okay, that's it, folks. Right, let's get through these good mornings. Good morning, everyone. Global NW, Full Forward, Noah, Clint, Roscoe, Jesse, John Dennis, InfoRisk, Silem, Troy, Miguel, Raphael, Mark, Jeff, JD, Toby, Daniela, Chris, Array, Patrick, Eva, E.T., Brandon, Oken, Moni P, Ari, Tyson, Sergio, Peter Illis, Peter Curry, Chris Thorne, Larry, Mo, Firewater, GG, Ron, Owen, Lou, ERF, Owani, Charles, Leron, Camus, Jacob, Contorted, Green, BU, LJ, Anthua, Toby, The Richardsons, John B, JD, Big John Viking, JJ, The Law, Garbs, 1-on-1, Aaron, Lauren, John Ball, Adam, Peter. If I missed anyone out, I am sorry. But that should have most of you covered. And here comes the weakness. Oh, this is upsetting because I was looking forward to playing this downside move with everyone being uber bullish in the market today. But it's done it from 6 a.m., unfortunately. Or 6 for me, 9 for you. Oh, it's frustrating. It is frustrating. Where are my take profit accounts? Somewhat odd, but okay. All right, move this up. All right, here's the open, folks. Oh, that is so annoying. What beautiful, easy layup trade that would have been. Let's see what we get it. See if this market can get a bit of a shove up, and what we do afterwards will be important. So currently opening up under previous day value area low. MAG all opening red other than Nvidia and Goog. I don't want to short these lows down here ideally, and this is not a good location to be short. So ideally we want to shove up that fades. If we get under here and we base under here to go lower, then we can think about it, but it's unfortunate right now that they're just letting this thing go. So ideally we find a bit of a bid upside first. So if we are going to play short in a rotation, we can at least get a better price point. I don't want to short into a pivot, which we've held the last 2 times down here in New York, but it's very possible right now that they're just going to let this thing go and take out those Globex lows right now, which is absolutely looks like what it's trying to do. So they've defended these lows here. It's a London low 30s, Globex low is technically 17. Let's move this down a bit so we can see it. All right, these are the lows that they might want to take out, and we can think about a failed breakout underneath those if we're going to go in rotation, and if we base underneath, then we can think about lower prices. Delta staying heavy here at the moment. Just let this settle down for the open and get through all their imbalances. Probably going to take out those Globex lows at some point at the moment, it feels like. But again, we're in range rotation. It's not a good place to be thinking about taking a short down here, but we are rejecting New York VWAP for now. Let's just see. We're watching that New York Open previous day value area low. If we fade value area low, maybe there's a scalp down to Globex, but if we reclaim value area low, there's a bigger squeeze point back up. Let me get rid of these old VWAPs as well. Sorry, folks, I'm having to play catch up a little bit here. So yeah, Goog finding a bit of a big, everything else, and Nvidia, everything else still in a sell right now. I'd watch that New York Open and value area low to see if they sell it. If they reclaim it, we'd probably come up here, maybe all the way up here if they really want to squeeze. I would imagine we'd take this out first, but we will see. We will see. So into that New York Open. And they've just got stuck in front of it so far. And do we take out this Globex now? That's what's going to be key. Here we come back into demand. I think they're going to take Globex out here at the moment. Looks like it, back towards low of day. And if we slam through Globex, there's possibly a fade all the way down to 550s here and below. So protecting New York Open, looking for a continuation lower through Globex here for a scalp. I think it's coming. So that orange line is what I'm looking to see if we take out. As long as we reject VWAP, I think there's a chance to move back down here. It's the worst location of the day, but I did enter short versus New York here. So looking to see if we can scalp out. If not, if they reclaim New York, then no trade. Buying coming in there. And again, it's the worst location to be short down here, but just trying to see if there was a bit of continuation there for follow through. Still holding up. Paid myself a tiny bit. I'm up $300 so far. That's it. I'm just waiting here. Again, if anyone took the previous day point of control short, it was very, very good. All right, this 6 a.m. Still looks good for taking this out right now. Here we go. Waiting to see if there's a bit of follow through coming on here. You must be locking some in here, folks. It's very, very early, and they can very easily bear trap underneath this low. Very, very easily bear trap underneath this low, underneath this orange box. But if we do fade further, we're going to get dumped down to there. Here we go. So almost there, almost hit TP, TP1. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Come on, just get us TP1. Stop protecting this low. It'd be really nice if they flushed it hard. You didn't just miss me by a point there, did you? Come on. Don't you dare. Lots of buying happening down here now, selling coming in at the lows. Come on, you got to take out this low. Don't like what I'm seeing. You got to take this out. Lots of transactions happening here. I'm not going to give this too much longer. It's either got to take it right here, right now, or I'm out. You missed me by a tick now. Now you're taking the piss out of me. Come on. Do I take a bit more? Don't want to get stuck down here, folks. Do not want to get stuck down here. Oh! You got the short from 789. All right, they're still protecting this. This is rather annoying. Missed my main cover point by, oh my gosh, hardly anything. What's that? Hit 19s and 1725, so. There we go. Maybe it's still coming. Maybe it's still coming. Yeah, no fresh short positions down here, guys. I'm short versus that New York Open. I'm not trying to short lower day. And even that was risky up there. If we reclaim VWAP, I'm sort of less interested. Might just take it off in case they don't take it now and come back for them later. There's lots of buying up here. Tesla gone green. Big decision point around here, I'll be honest. They're going to have to make some decisions around here, because if we do start fading or we're here too long and we build liquidity, there is a bigger move lower. All right, not going to let this reclaim VWAP. If it reclaims VWAP, I'll just take this off. Lock in what I have. Okay, out. Outfit, let it squeeze out. Okay, squeeze out. Watching this New York Open and previous day value area low. And if they squeeze through that, they're going to go VWAP again. Not playing long here. There is potential reversal long, but again, we left all that liquidity at the low, which is less than ideal. But you are seeing a move back to positive delta here off those lows. So I'll be watching these blue lines here. If they reclaim that green, and if they reclaim that, maybe they test that gap. And if they really want to squeeze, they come back for previous day point of control. I really wanted to be short here, but it happened before the New York Open, unfortunately. So the range rotation, just to remind you, is potentially from here and here to here and here. So ideal short location is up here. This is the worst short location today, but I was just trying to play for this wash and then maybe buy it back, but we haven't washed it yet either. So now we've got 3 lots of stops down there, and I have no doubt we will come back for that. Doesn't have to be right now, but we will come back for those stops. I have no doubt about it. Buy down there at 600, making, he's just advertising price down there right now. And I don't trust him. I think he pulls when we get near him. Let's see if we can get higher a bit first now. Be really nice if we came to a New York session and they hadn't done the move before 9:30. Okay, back into this same level here. They're going to start letting this go now. Key level right here. If they start dunking this, we're going for those lows. Here we go. Key level. Here we go. You got any juice in you? So looking to see if we break 17s, I think it was. So cover points at 17s. They're still trying to bid off these lows. There's lots of selling down here, not getting follow through. They will get trapped if they don't get the follow through. They're all looking for that low that we're looking for right now. So they will get trapped if they don't get that follow through. They're looking to take out the Globex low and to cover some there, basically your current low of day. And then they're looking for 550, 560 at the moment. Here we go. More stronger selling coming now. Tesla gone back red. So cover points coming up here if you're still in this. I've re-entered versus flow zones now. And let's see if we can get a continuation. I want to get a cover off into, here we go, here's Globex, here's TP1, and let's see if we can get runners down to 550s now. Here we go. Here's 600s, big offers down at 600. If we get through here, we wash to 550s, I think. So as long as you paid yourself a little bit, do not let it reclaim and go back inside the range. If it goes back inside the range, that'd be a stop run and a failed auction and turn back inside. Just another day trading with flow zone, making money. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see if we can get this blue box as the next TP. You're welcomes. Let's go. What a beauty. What a beauty. We like it. All right, lots of selling at these lows. Be careful. These guys get trapped down here around the 600s. They need follow. They're looking for follow through into here. All right, this is an RBS zone. Make sure you're zooming out. We can just do like a little 30-minute quickly. All right, just zoom out. I don't really trust this as an RBS zone because this was all bullshit, like I talked about, done overnight. But we did come into here in New York yesterday. This is key. If we go here for a bit, we're going lower. I don't think if we go sideways here, we grind back up. All right, so this is low liquidity. It was done in Asia and London. I don't trust it. This is a squeeze. It was absolute bollocks. They over squeezed it to trap bulls in yesterday who thought, oh, we're going to go back to highs. Yeah, absolute bollocks. We don't go back to highs of no structure, my friends. And so here we go. Would have been nice if they would have given me optimal entry, but this is really good now. So all I'd say now is you've had your low-hanging fruits come, all right? If we start reclaiming here and definitely view up, all right? If we reclaim this, no more shorts, okay? Because this is low-hanging fruit. This can be a failed auction. And then how we act in here becomes key again. But you should have made money, all right? We've made good money. You should be holding on to some position to see if we can get lower now. Opening range, yes, you're right. You're right, it is. Well, that New York Open from yesterday as well is at 69. All right, 569. So in here, just above, yeah, right on the edge of it. That was New York Open yesterday. And yesterday's IB low, right, was 487, I believe. Is that correct? Yes, 487. So down here. All right, so here's the retest. And what they do here now becomes key. If they start reclaiming, this is a look below and fail. Like I said, there was lots of selling at those lows. You're starting to see some of the market attempt to recover. Still think there's a chance to move lower at the moment, but let's see. Still think there's a chance to move lower at the moment. All the time we're protecting this level and VWAP. This basically. All right, all the time we're protecting that. I think there's a chance to move lower for our runners. If we start reclaiming those levels above, then no, I don't. Previous day open, yes, 545. So still in this with a runner, seeing if we can get a continuation. If not, then we cut the runner. Some huge buyers stepping up down there. You've got 1,000 lot down there now. Advertising price. down into 75, just in front of 75. So here's Globex. If we reclaim all of this, I'm out on the runner, folks. If we reclaim all of this, I'm out. This and VWAP, I will be out if we reclaim this. If we reject this, then I still think we've got a chance to move lower. But if we're going to reclaim, then it means sellers get trapped at the lows and we go rotation back up. And back inside the orb now. So you've got look below on multiple things now. Here's VWAP, here's orb, here's Globex. So no more shorts now. Shorts have gone. We've had the shorts, or we had the first attempt at it. And if they want to go run this all the way back up, they can. There is literally zero selling there from 13 all the way up to 35. So genuine imbalance down there now. There is no selling down there. We just ripped straight through it all. So 13 to 35. If they hold that, they drift right away higher. If they reprice under 13, then we're going to go for new lows, I think. So far holding, what was that low? 25. Yeah, they're holding. So if repriced, they might re-squeeze this now at this point. We have to see. Yeah, they are holding. So look below and fail. Maybe we go rotation back up now. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. Just watching these single prints. There's the squeeze. So they've held those single prints. Those guys just got absolutely trapped down there. So there was literally no selling from here up. This was straight buying. We've repriced in. More buyers have come in. And we're going to go back to New York Open and previous day value area low now. All right, and if we reprice through that, we're going to go for PDC and previous day point control, I would imagine. Let's, now that we've had a bit of volume on here for the day, let's just anchor that. Come on. Okay. So range being built out. How much range are we actually in? Not bad, actually. 199 points, basically 100 points of range so far this morning. Not bad. Okay, Google, the strong one today, 1% up. I'll give you a little readout. Tesla, 1/3% down. Tesla, 0.5% up. Nvidia, 0.43% up. Microsoft, 1% down. Meta, 1.22% down. Google, 1.22% up. Amazon 0.39% down, Apple 0.31% down. Mixed bag, basically, on the mag as we approach this New York Open and previous day value area low. Remember, if we don't reject previous day value area low and that VWAP above it, then it means this whole thing, so far we've had a failed auction underneath Globex. This will now be a failed auction underneath value, and we can offer a squeeze the whole way back up because we're in a rotation. So how we act here becomes very, very important now for basically the rest of the day to give us a theme on the day. Is this a look below and fail underneath previous day value, or is it in fact just building out more liquidity right now where we reject New York and we reject value to go lower? We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Maybe we come back for those single prints. Here we go, slicing through it. So still rejecting New York Open. Right back to those single prints now. This is exactly where those single prints were. And I've got to check the edge of that single print again. 23. If we go through this, we're slicing lows. All right, coming back for where I said there was, oh, sorry, you're way off the screen. Back to this area, right? This area becomes key. This is your over-under now for sentiment. So they're trying to protect these single prints. Sorry, gang. Sorry, gang. I'm trying to watch so many screens at once here. Sometimes I miss that I've got you off screen. So single prints, they're bidding single prints again. And they've created a ton more single prints. So there's literally no one is interested in selling right now between 50 and 23. They're only just starting to think about selling now. The last 3 times we've been there, there's been no sellers. Oh, and there's the slam. All right, so we're through it. We're going to make new lows. New lows coming. Wow, that was quick. That was quick. So if anyone's watching Bookmap or Footprints, you'll see what I'm talking about. It got very thin there. And everything's just gone red on the mag other than Goog. Lots of buying at these lows. I don't expect this to hold up. I think we're going to make new lows. That was too big, too heavy, too hard. Through the single prints, I think we're going to go down to these 50s now. So this level here is your under over, and this becomes possible. So we're still fading. New York high, looking for a rotation down into here now. I'm only playing what I can see in front of me, folks. Here we go. It's very, very, very heavy at this point. Here we go. Like I said, don't trust that buying yesterday. And here we go. Can we get previous day open? Man, that whole of yesterday was just a giant fucking trap. I knew it. It stunk. I said it in Discord last night and this morning. It absolutely reeked. Mate, Footprint, can you fucking move for me, TradingView? Why are you being a prick? There we go. All right, so watching to see if we reject these same levels again. Anywhere from this low, even up to here. We're into this next point now. So this is your next covering point. Big selling at the lows here. Don't get trapped at the lows here, folks. Let this squeeze back out again. And then see if we reject single prints at sort of 80s. Which right now it seems like yes. Lovely. Lovely. This is going to melt, man. All these bulls are absolutely cooked at this point. Really nice VIX, absolutely running. We're coming back down to, we must be covering some here, okay? If you took this once we faded those single prints, right? We're coming back down into this area. Next pool, if we're really going to fade, is down here. Sorry, guys, I'm not able to get through all the chat and the questions yet. I'll get through it later, but the book's moving thin and fast, so I'm having to concentrate a little bit harder this morning. Dude, it's crazy how quick we're moving. Like single print, single print, single print, and then rebalance, hold, rebalance, flush. Now they're going to come back up for these 80s. 80s to 90s now becomes key. We left buyers trapped up at 600. So actually, we left buyers trapped because they tried to buy that last dip. So yeah, 93 to 602. As long as sellers defend that, we move lower. 93 to 602. 93 to 602. You can see on Bookmap, like, it was strong selling once they caught these guys up here and we pivoted, but there was selling in, buying in here. All right, so if we defend these 93 to 602, so we're trying to drift back up towards at the moment. They're not even letting them get out at all. And I think new lows will come. Here we come. Oh, maybe, yeah. Sorry. Watching this for fresh lows. Starting to slow down a bit now. Tape's like started to calm down. It's a big buyer at 550. So I'd say bears are in control underneath 602. And I want to see new lows. Still leaning on this. 550. Can see a big buyer there. 644 lot under him. Then I think we're going to have room. Come on. He's just pulled his order. Obviously he has, because he's fucking scared and he's just advertising nonsense. So 25,500 is now the level that they're trying to bid off. And here we go, folks. So in towards yesterday's open. Make sure you've paid yourself some money here, please. What a beautiful move. I don't think you would have got this without order flow, to be honest. The way it's moved is pretty fast. VIX's still going. We look good here. Still holding on. I think new lows are coming. Until I see sellers get trapped at the lows, I think new lows are coming. Until buyers are still trying to step in and they're still getting hurt. They're still trying to step in here. Come on, baby. Yeah, still got single prints up at 88. More single prints now. Jesus Christ, guys. This is crazy. Reflush here, back towards those lows then. New low days. New low days. Here we go. Here's previous day open. And we're holding on now for dear life to see how low we can go. There's previous day open here right now. And let's see how low they can go. So next level really is all the way down here. So if we get lucky, we get a flush right down into this. What was this move yesterday? 482. I will mark out that pivot. And we definitely have resting liquidity around there. Sure it's accurate. Sorry, folks. Okay. So just down to small size now. Well, hopefully, especially those in Discord, you can see why I didn't trust any of that move yesterday. And why I was looking to fade it all of yesterday and I didn't want to be a buyer. And it just took they wanted to trap basically a whole day's worth of buyers in the market. And they have successfully done it. And I will go over why again after this, but it comes down to daily and weekly buyers being trapped overhead. Yesterday was a squeeze out, and what we did yesterday pre-market had no volume. It was all done overnight. I fucking don't care about that. What I really care about is where real volume is stuck, and real volume is stuck overhead. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now remember, we've done a gap fill and an RBS test on NQ. Not in New York, right? Not in New York. So no New York sellers have actually had their cover points into those lows. No New York buyers who want to bid off those big RBS zones on daily weeklies have been able to. People like me who are like, oh, I'll bid down there on QQQ or TQQs. We haven't been able to because we opened up after hitting it in Asia and London and driving up, which is why I don't trust it. Okay, couple more minutes here and then I'll get through all the chat because I know I'm missing out a lot here. More single prints here at 50s, all right? So there were no buyers above 50s. There wasn't much transactions up there at all. So it's just someone getting stuck. But we've hit most of our targets now. Again, low-hanging fruit gone. If we're going to do a big puke day, fantastic. I'm here for it, guys. I'm absolutely here for it. But let's not guarantee that, eh? Really nice. We were short from here and I added back on here once we failed New York again. That's why this New York Open is so important. This is your sentiment of cash, all right? New York Open always. Who's in control of that cash market? Did bulls ever get control from the Open? No. Bears remained in control. Here's your next TP, guys, all right? 86 and then 30s. Let's see if this buyer pulls his bid again into 12s. Is he going to run scared? We're getting very close to him. Is he genuine? No, he's genuine. All right. He's a big buyer. We're going through him. He's refreshing the bid here. I think we sell through him. There you go. Bye. See ya, mate. See ya. Okay, here's this white line. Remember, this is a wick from yesterday. This is a TP point. Oh my God. Read it like me. I dare ya. Okay. TP here, folks. And then just, if we get very lucky, we're going to keep fading down to here. But this is a big TP point here. Yesterday. It's where we found a bid yesterday morning. If you remember yesterday morning, we played long on the reclaim of 520. So here you go. Here's your white line. This is your TP point. And anything else here is absolutely beautiful. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for reminding me. Jesus. Getting told off on my own stream. Tell you what, I'll put money in the tip jar and you put like 10% of what I've just made you in that jar as well. And we'll give it to charity. I think that's a fair deal. Okay, single prints left at 504s and above now. Do not get short at low of day. Please, 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 please. No shorts at low of day, all right? Just runners only. Let it just keep drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting. If we get down here, fantastic. If we make new lows, even better. I told you, I smell a rat. I smell a rat in the market. It was very, very obvious with what they did with the Dixie and bonds. And we are just ripping faces here on the VIX. Absolutely ripping faces. Coming up to a key pivot here in the VIX, I'd say, into these 1920s. So if we find a little bump in the ground, it's going to be here or hereabouts. And if we get through this, then we trade 20s on the VIX. Still dripping. Looks great here. Market's in panic. Market is in panic. Beautiful. It's what I expected, what I was looking for. Let's go, OSCR. You hold up with your relative strength of earnings. New lows coming. I've got to move Bookmap, man. We're moving fast. We are moving fast here. This is pure panic. We are moving fast here. Oh, my days. We are moving fast here. Previous day low, next target. Do not bid on this market, by the way, for goodness sake. No, do not catch this knife because well, you're going to get cut in two. We've been shorting this all morning. I'm only looking for shorts. Let me see where's some POCs down here. Yeah, 400, 404 is a big pivot, and then obviously previous day low. Here, and this level here, this blue box we're in now, big pivot point. Expect some covering here, and then if not, all the way down into this next box and previous day low. All right, we've done the damage. We've absolutely destroyed this market today. We've absolutely destroyed this market today. Thanks for playing. Do not bid on this market. You definitely don't get short on the lows, but do not bid on this market. All right. This is still selling. We are in panic mode. The bulls are very upset. They don't understand. All right. Well, the market does. Market makers understand. Hedge funds understand. That's why I could see their clues in the tape yesterday. But retail bulls do not understand how we've just gone up and gone to make an inverse head and shoulder and not done it. Because it was nonsense. Sometimes you just smell a rat. It's just being in the market long enough to see it. I'll go over it all afterwards. But the two-leg pullback got completed. All right. Think about this. What we talked about. Those in Discord, have a look. If you haven't looked, look at what I talked about last night and this morning. All right. Last night. All right. Two-leg pullback complete. Can't remember where I put it, but it's somewhere here. All right, 2-leg pullback complete. I'm looking for failures lower. Thanks very much. We are thin in how they're moving this around, so just be careful. The squeeze back up can be violent here, folks, off this pivot. We can afford a drift all the way into here and above if we want. Most of the volume's all the way up here. This is thin in that move down. So 200-point slice down in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, 200-point slice down. Please don't bid this market. All right, don't bid the market. VIX got above the 1922s. It's going to come and back test it now and see if it can find a bid between 1920s and 19. And if it can, it's going to continue up to 20s for the day. So I'm looking to see if this market can drift up and see if they want to resell it or not. Yeah, fully out of it now into that box. Job done for the day. Let this squeeze and let's see if they come back in at any points of interest. Yeah, we hit the daily SMA. Yeah, the 20. Like we said, we're going to trade between the 5 and the 20. It's how we build out liquidity while it makes its decision, giving the chance for the Bollinger Bands to come and join in, to come and join in. Everything we've done today is straight out the flow zone book. This is textbook. I promise I will get through all the questions in a minute. All right, folks, I will get through them in a minute. But we're trading off a pivot point now. It might very well want to come back up towards those 620s. Maybe we get stuck at VWAP, but we can afford to drift all the way back up here. This is a straight move down. Remember, straight move down. If it really wants to backtest further, it can. We'll just have to see. But again, I'm fully out of it now. If we keep going lower without giving a deep enough back test, like a 2-leg back up for me to sell, then nothing I can really do. If you're still going to hold for previous day low, fantastic, good on you. I don't blame you in the slightest for holding for that. But I had to pay myself there, folks. Okay, while we cool off, let me go through all the chat. Sorry. Let's see how you guys did. W's in chat if you caught some of that. Okay, let's see. I don't think I can see it all. Let me scroll up. How much can I see? Gosh, there's lots here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where do I get VIX data from? I just normal data. I don't use it just on TradingView, mate. On TradingView. So let's see. On my labby got it. Jonathan, $300 on 4 accounts. Thanks. So I'm just trying to catch up from way back. Just passed my 5K Lucid accounts. Thanks, Alex. You're welcome, Kyle. Thanks, Alex. I achieved 3K profits on my 50K Apex. I believe I should pass now. Yep, you'll pass. We'll just come tomorrow. New lows coming here, folks. Look at this big bid down at 400. I think they're going to try for previous day low at the moment. I'm just trying to catch up. You have got a ton of single prints down here that's trying to reprice at the moment. Yeah, lots of you getting it. Nice. Andrew got it. Green Otter got it. Priska got it with the trade copy. I love it. Is charity in the name of the girl? I like that. Just closed my puts I bought pre-market. Diamond hands went to paper hands. No, that's mate. If you just close your puts, you've done really well. Especially if they were 0 DTE, you've made so much money. So much money. Awani, 8K for the day. Find me a job that pays this much in 30 minutes. Exactly. Once you can read the market, it's different level. 4K yesterday, 3K today, 80% done with your course, Alex. So much. Thank you so much. Your insight for helping me understand levels better. You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't be offended, but have you analysed why you did not see the traps yesterday? What are you talking about? Jack, what are you talking about? What traps did I not see yesterday? I saw absolutely everything yesterday. Don't know what you're talking about. I literally have no idea. Yeah, lots of you getting it. Good. I love to see this. Good work, folks. Past your eval, 600 on 20 accounts. What are single prints just imbalances? Right, single prints just imbalances. You won't see them with your fair value gaps. All right, I'll do it all in the new course that I do. You won't see them in the fair value gaps. They're within each tiny little candle structure. There are places where there's no liquidity, where you have voids in liquidity, especially when we're moving quick like this, when we start skipping. All right, so at the bottom of this market right now, you zoom in. Right, auctions finish, your lows finish when there's no more selling. There was no more selling under 420. None. Zero selling in this candle here under 420. All right, that's the end of the auction so far, because there was just buying. All right, so there's an imbalance here because they were buying and there was no more aggressive selling. So we finished the auction. Then there was no more selling from 25 to 27. Then there was no more selling in the 42s. Right, they finished selling down here for now. They're like, okay, we're done. That we're done. We're not going to sell. They've realized, right? The market, I'm talking about market orders. They've realized, okay, we're not selling down here for a bit. Okay, maybe they're going to come back in here. Maybe they'll come back in here. Maybe they come back in at 620s. But for now, they're done selling in this region. For now, that can change right now when we come back into it. But for now, they're done there. In fact, they've been done numerous times now. 440s, they've finished selling. 450s, they've finished selling. Even where we are now, they've only just come back on the tape to start selling. These guys are finished. They've exhausted themselves for a minute. All right. So when auctions finish, if you think about being at an actual auction, what you're doing now is being at an actual auction. Like we talked about the other day, we talked about the Daytona watch. I love talking about the Daytona watch. If you think about what we had today was panic selling. All right. It was panic selling. This is everyone going, get out, get out, get out, get out. Right, maybe they're going to come back in and sell through this now that they've finished the exhaustion. We've done the two leg. Maybe they want to continue. We'll see. This isn't a deep enough pullback for my liking, but this is the old pivot, which we are just failing on, that white line that we talked about. I can't teach and trade when it moves this quick. It's hard. But think about if you've got 1 million Daytonas for sale and we hit the bottom of the market, right? You're not going to sell the bottom of the market, are you? If you bought your Daytona for 30 grand and we're suddenly at 5 grand and it's sell, and then every buyer comes into the market because they're like, I'll buy it for 5. That's way too cheap. I'll buy it for 5. And suddenly there's no more sellers left because the inventory's gone. There's no one left to sell. That is the end of the auction for now. It can continue lower, right? Especially if the bulls retrap themselves. They keep trying to bid down here and they can't move price higher. Or if sellers go, okay, we're ready to sell again. We think that this, if they go, hey, in a range, this is fair value. And then they're like, actually, it's not fair value. This is fair value. Let's be aggressive and sell it down to here because we want to buy it cheaper. That's also possible. But for these amount of minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for at least for 9 minutes, they stopped selling. In this candle here, they started again. Do I have a hater in here talking some shite? Let me see. When I don't like, it's fine to. I've got no problem, Jack. If you want to ask questions, I don't understand what traps you think I didn't see yesterday. I'm not really sure what you're talking about, mate. All right, starting to build liquidity out down here. All right, a bit of a shelf built, and it's starting to feel more like they're going to move lower now. So previous day low is what they're looking for at the moment. All right, so they got exhausted for a bit. They created new value. Obviously, it's not going to let me draw anything on to teach you today. Trading View, please. Please, Trading View. You're starting to pee me off. There we go. All right, value created here. We're exhausted for selling here at the moment. Buyers had the chance to come back in and bid back up. They failed this old pivot. This is a pivot from yesterday, and the next chance for lows is here. So sellers take control. They're going to attempt to come into these pockets. If sellers get stuck down here again, I would not be an aggressive seller down here. No chance. I want to see a reprice higher for me to sell into. But if we build lots of liquidity and bulls don't take control, it's possible we move lower. But the opportunity to sell has gone. For me, anyway, in how I trade, there is momentum's there, but the opportunity to sell, I'm not going to sell deep in discount right now where I'm seeing exhaustion. No way. And look, we've just gone right holding these pivots. So we're just trading between these levels now. They're gonna keep checking this for a bit. All right, and if buyers take control back over this pivot, then it comes into this box. If it takes control, it comes into this box. This is where big volume is right now. We're kind of thin through here, a bit thicker in these. All right, so if they take control here, I expect a visit of here. This would be the range for a bit. If they decide higher, this would be the range, right? So we go over here, probably this. Over here, probably this. Okay, over here, if they trap, back down. If they're just building this out to move lower, they will trap above and move back down. So we just let it build out now. We've had the easy money. We've had it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry I swear every now and again. Like, it is a part of me I do want to get better at. But I mean, if it's a big deal, I don't know who you can go and watch who doesn't swear. Go and watch someone who doesn't teach you, who's just sits there. Go and watch someone who plays a 30-second long gambling in the morning. You can go and do that. Okay. Let's see. Very, very thin. Very thin. I want to let this drift higher at this point. The higher, the better. All right, we don't want to sell lows. The higher, the better at this point. Let me just flip charts. VIX still trying to base out around those 19s like we talked about. So if it finds a bid here, it wouldn't be too bad if VIX actually just like pulls inside for a minute, lets this market get a little bit of relief. You're seeing some big buying coming in here because they're trying to get above this pivot we just talked about, right? They want to move up into this. This is what they're attempting to do. This would be back inside value for the day. Remember, this is outside of current value for now. This is developing value, and maybe a drift towards some of these VWAPs is not out the question. And then we can reassess. Remember, we're still in a rotational market where I think bears currently have edge. But once we hit, just put the anchor on this. Once we hit the pivot lows during the New York session, which we're not too far away, those 370s, then you might see some major covering, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands of lots covering into that. Looks like we're below the 21. I don't use the 21, Robert, but I mean, I know we've tagged the 20. I don't use the 21. That doesn't mean you shouldn't, but I don't use it. So if we go to daily, right, we've completed mean reversion. All right. Two standard deviations, mean reversion, RBS in here. All right. Remember, this move, this long wick here, we did not do that in the New York session. All right. If anyone follows me on Twitter, you will know I was saying, man, it seems like they're not going to give New York, which is what, 99% of the volume, a chance to cover or bid. Well, they came back for it today. All right, so this was bullshit. into here, and this is the true move. And let's see what happens here now. All right, because you're going to get some covering. You might get some genuine buying in here. If we start failing, I don't know why I've done that. If we start failing under here, all right, then we can think about this volume and this volume. Remember, read the newsletter, think about the levels. If we start getting genuine selling under here, I'd be so concerned if I was bullish in this market, because we've got more volume down here and we've got unfinished business here at some point if we want to get into that. This was what, CPI low, where we get very low volume, right? So I'm not going to rule out moves down into here if we can't protect this high. Once we go back into range, this can be a look above and fail. If we build out liquidity here, this is looking very bad into Q4. I don't expect that to happen. I actually expect new highs to be made into January, but you just don't know. We have too many unknowns right now. Remember, everyone's saying, like, it makes me laugh when DJT yesterday came out and said the economy's doing great. My answer to that is, based on what? What? Based on the lack of data we have from the government shutdown. How can we say anything's doing great right now when we have no data? Right? So everyone's like talking about this week, oh, we're going to get NFP. We're not going to get NFP this week. We're not going to get any data, all right, until they go back to work. So maybe we're pricing a bit of that sort of pullback in, and it's still healthy, guys. It's 2% after a 60% run in the market. It's absolutely nothing. It's absolutely nothing. You're welcome. You shot nobody. No worries. Alex, you need to use the most common swear words used in the UK. I want them in my house. Well, the main one we use is that, which you don't really have here. So for you that don't know, it would be wanker. That's probably the main one we use. Or twat, which you guys say twat. Twat. I don't know what twat is, but I know what a twat is. Those are like they're not that rude, but they're used kind of things. So you're like, oh, you twat. Yeah, subs. Okay, so here we go. So we're reclaiming. We've just talked about this, haven't we? All right. There was no selling at the low. There's your look below and fail. Here's your volume. There's the reclaim of this pivot. They're going to retest this kind of zone now. And if they get through this zone, they're going to come for this zone. All right. So this is where we failed from. Right, and they're going to try and reprice. If they get through this, they're going to try and reprice up here. We don't sell lows. That's why we don't sell lows. Hopefully, nothing else. If you miss this whole move, you know that you do not sell lows. Right, just be smart. Where did big selling coming in before? Let's have a look if there's any outliers. Well, where we are now is a huge outlier here on the delta, which we're now above 430. So they're out of pocket right now. Where's the big next outlier? 550 looks pretty big. Sell delta 555, 550, 555. Sorry, just scrolling up to see where those big sellers came in. Yeah, 550, 555. Have we got any more above? 563, and then we get some big lots up there. 570. So 550. 565, 570. Those are your first levels that they might want to go and gut check to see if sellers are still there. So 550, 555. What did I say? 570. I forget my levels straight away. Brain fart, Alex. There we go. 550. Oh, tape's starting to move. Let me scroll up. Where's the big buy delta? 600. So buyers are stuck at 600. Buyers definitely stuck all the way up at 600. Don't see any buy delta before that. And strong sellers, yeah, 55s, just called 55, 56, 63, 70. 55, 65, 70. It's all you need to remember right now. Sellers are in control or had big size at those levels. Buyers got stuck at 600. So all the time we're under 600, sellers are in total control of the market. And buyers just attempted to come in there again. We have single prints up above us there into the 550. So again, it's where those big sellers were. So we've repriced into this box. So this should be red. I'm sorry, guys. Got to convert that. There we go, because we traded through it. All right, and if we get through that, I don't think we're going to get back into here. All right, I don't, because that will let everyone out. But It's possible, but I don't think we're going to do that. But this market will do whatever it wants, like we know. So sorry, just excited. I just went long from the 20 SMA, green 11,000 for the day. And this is all in the funded tick master account. So hopefully money will soon. Yeah, you'll have a big payout. Congratulations. Congratulations. Happy for you. I'm going to take another payout tonight on TPT. And if in doubt, if you're struggling to draw levels, just move up the time frames like we talk about. Like 30-minute is very clear at the moment, isn't it? Pivot, pivot, pivot. Sound like someone from Friends. Pivot! But it's super clear. Okay, so maybe these 550, 555s we talked about. 555, 565, 570. Well, I can't remember them. Someone write them in chat for me. And single prints are back down to 500s. All right, so bulls will want to hold that sort of 500. Say 512 to 500, they'd want to hold. If they fail that, we go 470s. So rejecting VWAP, rejecting this supply, they will come and test down towards here. 500 and then 470s. All right, bulls will want to hold that. If they fail to hold it, we will go for a new lower day. So in towards those 505 to 500, that's the first level. And if they fail that, we go 470s. If they fail that, we go lower day. Cotto, funding ticks doesn't have that. Same as, like, if you want to go for big payouts, you want to go funding ticks, you want to go funded next, or you want to go top step or TPT, or you go Apex and get to payout number 6. But it all depends on the account. You want to go for an account with no consistency rules, and then you can go for bigger wins. All depends on which account you get. So back to these 500s. These are these single prints we just talked about. So buyers will want to hold this. If they fail this, we're going to go to 470s, I would imagine. So same kind of level. All right, they want to hold here, if not here. And if bulls do not hold this, they will be in trouble for this down here. But you would expect they'll want at least a reattempt up here. But, you know, maybe they just don't have it in them today. I wouldn't be a bull today. Sorry, folks, just catching up. Oh, okay. If they fail this, 470s. Bulls need to hold this. If they fail this, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. If they start failing this in 470s, they're in trouble. VIX doing exactly what you want to see. If VIX starts reclaiming now 19s and high day, then I think it goes 20, and then this market will bleed to previous day low if the VIX does that. All right, so I'm just saying what might happen if the VIX does it. So you can see on Bookmap the clear levels right now. Let me just zoom out. Okay, can you guys see this? Hopefully you can see it. All right, end of the auction. All right, look at all this selling at the lows. Think about this. Were there any buyers here? There was a buyer below trying to absorb, but there was no more selling below this. That was the end of the auction. Once these guys, just call it 300 between the two of them, or it's probably just one guy, got caught, we turned around. There's your sort of W, there's your reclaim of that pivot. And now we're coming to back test this same level. So this is kind of line in the sand. If bulls are going to make a higher low, they've got to make it at 500 to 570. That's where they need to make it in this pool of liquidity for an attempt, probably, to get back up to where all this strong selling took place. All right, buyers are trapped. These buyers here, look at these size: 364, 296, 227. That's above 600. All right, so buyers are stuck above 600, which is why for me, sellers are in control as long as we're below 600. It's just a question of, do they need a revisit up a little bit further before they come in with some bigger size, right? So if you're going to sell this, do you want to see it come back up towards sort of 570, 600, defend it, and then slam it down? So that's what I'd personally be looking for. If I'm going to size into this market again, I'm looking for a second leg higher on the lower time frame to sell into, where exuberant buyers who are like, okay, that's the end of it, go, okay, yeah, we're going to absolutely go flying now. All right, if we can get something like, how many times have I pressed it? Something like this and a defend of that, or somewhere around here, and then I'd be looking for that. Otherwise, if they just fail this, it's going to be harder to join. It's still a valid trade, but it's much harder to join at the lows, right? Much, much harder. Remember, the best sell today, right, was very clear. Hello, it was right the way up here. What is this up here? That is a really nice end of auction into a key level. And there's your backside. So even if you faded this or this, you looked really good. Unfortunately, we had to join in New York, which is all the way down here. But if you got that today and you held it, I mean, you should be up mega bucks, mega bucks. Alex, do I have many entries on Bookmap below 24,000? I mean, we haven't auctioned below 24,000. You mean, you mean resting liquidity? There's a bit at 300. Not really. The edge right now is at 25,400. That is what you mean, right? 25,400. Let me. 24k. I mean, there's no one's going to be offering below 24k right now. It's over 1,000 points away. Okay, so back to these 70s. If they don't hold these, a lower day is possible here. These bulls will get in trouble. They're starting to get in trouble. Oh my days, they're starting to get in big trouble here. So they failed to hold it up. They failed to hold it up here. They are getting slammed. Here are the old single prints down here. These are the last lot of single prints down here into 36s. And well, if sellers to sell through this, then it's a big puke because all these bulls just got trapped. The last single print, we're about to touch into 35. This is literally last chance for bulls, and I don't think they're going to get their way because they've let 570 go, like we talked about. So maybe one more pop up back into sort of 50s and then resell it, which is not the A+ setup. A 2-leg would have been better. Watching to see if they just pop up here and then resell. If so, I'll think about joining. It's the worst point to rejoin, unfortunately. But we'll see. Considering it, I just want to see how they act on the tape here. We just sold really strong through 507 and 470. The better short location right now is up towards 570, not 470. So let's see. Here are the single prints. Here we go. So So defending 50s. If they snap this, new low of day. Here we go. Yeah, sellers in total control of the market like we talked about. Here we go. Here we go. There was no auction. What did we say there was no auction under? Under 20. You want to be careful of that. There was no selling before under 20. So we're going to need these buyers to get restuck, basically. So I want to be careful into 20. VIX doing exactly what we just talked about. Look at VIX. It's literally pitch perfect what we're seeing right now. All right, be careful into 20 here. Be careful into 20 here. I would expect a new low of day, but just be smart into 20 here because there was no selling down here before. Literally 0 selling under 20 before. Here's 20. Here's low of day. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Oh my God. What a puke. Let's fucking go. Sorry. Let's bleeping go. Beep. Let's bleeping go. Woof, woof, woof. Okay. Next cover points are here. Man, it's a shame they didn't have the strength to just pop up a little bit further. I hate having to join late down here, but we can only trade what's in front of us. Okay, this is your next cover point into this big pool of liquidity down here now, folks. Yeah, Trump talking at 11, like... I've, like, lost all hope in listening to that guy after yesterday. Like, I've got a really important announcement about the economy. He said nothing about the economy. Not a word about the economy. I mean, I don't include things like, the economy's great. I mean, that isn't talking about the economy. Egg prices are down. The economy, the stock market's up. That's not talking about the economy. Ooh! PDL coming here, folks. Yeah, of course, Aaron. Love splitting image. PDL coming here, folks. I've got to move Bookmap up. It's moving so quick. PDL coming, PDL coming, PDL coming. Make sure you pay yourself into this box. Oh my dizzy days. Oh my gosh. Make sure you talk polite, Alex. Don't be rude. Don't swear. Wash your mouth out, young man. Okay. All right, last time round, buyers on that last kill candle. I can't tell you how many balances we're getting. It's ridiculous. Got trapped above 83. So 83 to 90 was where that last lot got trapped. Selling really came in more aggressive. I'd say around sort of 95. So 83 to 90. You can just use IBL as your over-under. Again, don't be shorting lows. We had to... It wasn't a chase. We had to play what was given there. Once they rejected 50, like we talked about, we could play lower. It just became clear on the tape. It's just reading the tape, guys. It's all I'm doing. This isn't ICT reading the tape. This is reading the actual tape. What's actually happening. Candles are not the tape, guys. The tape is the time and sales. It's the level 2. It's what's actually going on, all right? When people say, oh, I'm tape reading by, you know, watching candles, that is not the tape. Looking for low of day here if possible. Calypso, great session, Alex. 1,500 across all my accounts. I'm done for the day. Congratulations, mate. Like, days like this are fantastic. This and what day are we now? Thursday? Thursday and Tuesday this week were absolutely magnificent because we had bulls trapped. Not in time to go long. Okay, Jack, you go long, my friend. You do whatever you want. you go long. I'll see you at previous day low when you stop out. All right, bit of exhaustion down here. Buyers trying to hold up at 45s. If they fail here, we're going to go previous day low. So what it's looking for, it's looking for PDL. You might get some front running on the covers. How long we got? We got time. They're going to want to take out PDL before Donald talks, I think. Lots of selling coming into this candle. They need a new low. If they don't get a new low, I'll probably cover this last piece. But I want to try and hold for previous day low. That's what I'd like to try and do if it would give me the opportunity. It feels a little bit more dangerous here at this point. They've had an attempt to really get heavy on it. Just being careful. This is better. So bulls came in again, failed again. So bulls now stuck above 60 again. Trading underneath. Here we go. Come on. Need this seller. These sellers are getting aggressive. Need them to sell through. Fail to sell through here. I'll cover it because I don't want to get squeezed out if they get caught. Just on my last runner. As long as we reject 60s, we're good. Starting to develop a little bit of volume down here into 44. Need follow through now towards previous day low. Again, not going to let it reclaim 60s, really. That's the big level. Low hanging fruit, previous day low is 280s, basically 281s or something. Come on, sellers, step on the gas. You got a big buyer down there as well, advertising 100 lot that they want to go and fill. Come on, there was a new low there. You need to auction lower. Trying to give it a chance on the runner, but what are we doing for time? New 15-minute bar coming in 3 minutes. It might want to reprice all the way up to 26s if they don't force this low soon. Might get a squeeze out here for a bit before they come back in. Very, very possible. Here we go. Okay, out of this now, like I said, not going to hold through 60s. Can always get back in. But I don't want to get caught where they keep trying to force the low of day and not getting it. So we just watch how we act into those sort of 400s. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. Where did that strong selling come back in? Where are the buyers trapped? Oh, so many single prints, man. I mean, there's been literally no buying from 90 up to 30s. So you'd expect them to defend 90s if they want low of day. You expect them to defend 90s if they want low of day. If they can't defend 90s, there's a bigger squeeze all the way up to 30s. It's a genuine imbalance there. One hour chart looks crazy. Well, it's just two down close candles. It's nothing when you compare it to what we did yesterday. Here we go. Okay, re-breaking. What did you knock me out by? 10 points. Makes me want to get back in. Lower day. If you're still holding lower day, previous day low, sorry. If you're still holding previous day low as your target, it's a clear target. And if you break that, it's a big night point. But we're going to come into higher time frame RBS. Jack, how's that long looking for you there, buddy? All right, I'm going to get a new coffee here. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Done for the day. I'm at max consistency on all my accounts. Nice, dude. All right, just make sure. The one thing I'd say, just make sure you're zooming out. All right, let's think about where we're coming into on a daily. All right, this is important. This was the old naked point of control. All right, which we basically hit in pre-market. That's what the check that we're looking for. Let's just make sure this is all the way down. That is what we're looking for today. All right, is this naked point of control. If we start failing this, remember this is an old balanced range, which is a huge RBS. All right, in here you have a insane amount of volume. Think about what we did in all those weeks. What was it? I'm trying to remember the levels. 24,700 to 24,500, right? 24,700. Think about how many days we spent in here to 25,000. Right, this is very thick volume in here, and then we found eventually acceptance above into where you're into now. All right, so this is a cover point. If we fail this, then technically speaking, I'd be thinking about the 25,000 and the 24,700 because it's where we went into the rotational plays for about 5 or 6 days. Maybe it was even longer. But if you think about the newsletter, I said if we start seeing acceptance underneath 25,300 and bears take control, it is a much more bearish sentiment for the market. Until that point, this can be a pullback to go higher. This can be, one of these to go higher. If we fail this, oh my God, watch out, look out below. The froth is coming out the market. All right, so if you're still in this, you look good. Just make sure you have to cover into this, not just because it's a low, it's because of why that was the low. There's a reason we reacted off this. It was an old naked point of control. Can we get the same move tomorrow but opposite? Yeah, it's very possible. If we if we overextend a little bit downside and we clean out some levels and then we reclaim, it's very possible to tomorrow does offer the opposite. It's very, very possible. All right, folks. I'm just chilling now, man. Like, unfortunately, got stopped out on that runner, so I don't want to enter into daily and weekly levels. All right, just think about location now. Momentum's great. Location now for a new short is absolutely terrible. It's the worst location for a short since October 25th. Yeah, and you're coming into volume. We created volume in this sort of region from October 9th into October 23rd, 24th. So there's a lot. There's about a month's worth of volume here and below. All right. So anyone who's been streaming with me long enough will know these key levels down here and these key levels. All right. I've got to stop giving away too much edge on stream. It's getting ridiculous. It's actually getting ridiculous. Last night I went and watched some of the other streamers, the other famous streamers that you guys might watch when I'm not on, and I was just like, what am I watching? What am I watching right now? Actually crazy. There are some good ones out there. Guys I think are really good that I've seen clips of. Stowe I think is good. XY I think is good. All those guys over there I think are really good. Who else is decent? Cammy I don't think is bad. Maybe he just plays level to level and volume profile. He has his way, but I'm not sure as good as like guys like XY and stuff who read tape. But Leo Net. Yeah, I mean, I'll be Leo. That's where my head's at. Leo, I think, is really good. He's a great trader. Kane, obviously, big money, but I actually haven't seen him trade, so I can't comment. Leo's good. Those guys are good. Yeah, Stowe's really good. I think XY is phenomenal. I've only seen a few clips of them, but there's not many times I watch streams and I go, okay, that guy's good. He knows what he's doing. And outside of that, look at VIX, guys. Look at VIX, guys. Look at what VIX has just done. This is what I was talking about. If it pulls back and holds, it's then going to go to 20. Ouch, ouchie, 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 ouchie. This is major risk off environment. Good luck to everyone who's like, oh, I'm going to buy this. You don't fucking, pardon my French, understand. You do not buy when the VIX is doing this. Let me have a look at the Dixie. I want to have a look at what all these indicators were doing. Holding up. What's the 10-year doing? Selling a 10-year still. Wow, they're dumping everything together. What about GC? Still in its range. You're going to get it, folks. You're going to get previous day low. You are about to get this. You must cover something today. If you get really lucky, it will keep bleeding. But I would be like 80-90% out into that, honestly. I'd be 80-90% out into that move if I was you. Because if it is a big if, but if you're going to get higher time frame bulls say, okay, that's it, this is all we wanted this naked point control, they're going to start buying, and they're going to start buying very, very, very aggressively. What about futures traders? I don't know. What do you mean? That's what I was talking about. Can you tell me what you hate about Ross Cameron? I don't hate Ross. That's a strong word. I don't hate him. I would just take the opposite side of him because I was a short seller. So what Ross does is he basically plays small cap gap ups, anything trading with a bit of momentum, ideally for him, it's what he would call an A+ catalyst, but half the time it's not. It's just a momentum play. So you got to understand, most small caps out there are just absolute garbage stocks. All right, they're complete garbage, and they are just money making machines for the insiders, so that they can use the warrants, do offerings, etc., etc. So all they do is release news statements very early in the morning, right, to try and build some momentum in the stock, and that will push it up into levels where people are stuck bag holding. So you might get a press release like, in this market, I would imagine, I haven't looked at it, but in this market, the press release will be something like stock ABCD, let's call it, announces it's moving into data center, into creating data centers for AI technology. All right, that would be like a headline, and everyone will go and buy it. I'll tell you what, that stock probably, it doesn't have, for a start, it's got no premise. It's got the most shady board you've ever seen, who've got no experience in anything it's just talked about. It probably produced some chickens once. All right, so it's a pump. So what Ross would do is buy the momentum on that pump. He'd try and pump it up and hold it. What you've got to understand is Ross has got however many millions of people. Someone get rid of Jack. At this point, you're just annoying, mate. You're not here to learn. You're just here to be an idiot. You can go on timeout, Jack. You get one more chance. So yeah. Your timeout, bud. Sorry, guys. Concentrate. So Ross would play the momentum upside. All right. So maybe he's buying 5,000 shares, 5,000 shares, 5,000 shares of this penny stock. You got to understand, everyone else is buying behind him. All right. So they're following him in. So he's got all his students buying behind him and then pushing the market up. Which way can you see me on camera? This way. They're pushing the market up, 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 up. But all the bag holders from the last time this happened 6 months ago are sat here. All right. So what's Ross going to do? Well, he's going to sell at some point. And what's his liquidity going to be? Who's going to become his liquidity to sell in? It's his fucking students. It's his students, right? So if he's 50,000 shares long, okay, and he's bidding it up, he needs 50,000 other buyers to sell into. So when his students get in late, so he gets 50,000 students who all buy one share, he can sell into them. Guess who makes money? He does. And guess who loses? The students. So guess what me and my mates would do? We would play short when he's ready to exit. Right, so we would be in his stream. I've talked about it openly. We had a paid Discord room. It's private with a few of us from some pretty big firms, and we would be taking the other side of his positions, especially if it was something that was a high probability gap and crap play, which would be something which has lots of bag holders in, has lots of warrants, lots of dilution available for them to use, and is up on nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right. So that's it. And he's been done for it. All right. He's been done for it. But he's no difference to everyone else. And if you're going to say, oh, people do that streaming on futures, bollocks. You can't do it. You can't do it on a centralized exchange trading. You got to understand, we're trading billions and billions and billions of dollars in here. Small caps are not. They're light on volume. They are easy to maneuver, which is why they're very highly manipulated, which is why you need to come up with criteria of like, for me, my biggest losses were always on Chinese stocks. Why? Because they're heavily manipulated post 2008 when we started floating Chinese stocks on the Nasdaq and stuff and the New York Stock Exchange. It just opened up scams. All right, you're about to hit previous day low here while I'm rambling on for you guys, but you're about to hit your previous day low. So make sure you get a cover point here, and then underneath that, it is sayonara. If they want to absolutely tank this on an overextension, you might get a cover point much, much lower. All right. If they tank this, you might get a swipe down, and I wouldn't be surprised, all right, if you get a swipe down for that to be the end of the auction, okay, and we might see buyers step in. And guess what? you're going to get this move right into Trump. How hilarious is that? All right, right into, here's your 11 o'clock. All right, so waiting for Trump now to come out with his announcement or whatever he's doing. So they've timed it perfectly. Nice, Camus. Yeah, good work. Same as me. I'm sitting on hands. I got knocked out at 60s, so I've missed out on an extra. If it takes it, which it should do, it's quite upsetting, actually. It's probably poor management from me in a way, if I'm honest. But where did we re-enter? So the last one we got in here, you might think that was late. It was late, but the tape said we are failing 50s, and if we fail 50s, we're going to low of day. So that was the enter, and then I got stopped out on 60s reclaim. So this candle here, unfortunately, it just peaked me. Otherwise, I'd still be in for this move. Just be careful because you're starting to get condensing here. You are thin in here. So again, a breakout through here can reprice into here where we have a cluster of volume. So again, this would be red now. In fact, let me get rid of the scribbles and then do it. In fairness, do you know who bought a charge against Ross Cameron? Do you guys know, have you been around long enough to know who accused him and who followed it through? Do you know? These are some of the reasons I actually respect the guy. Is PW. PW started the big campaign against Ross and took it to the SEC, I think. So he was very vocal about it. And Ross tried to sue him and lost. That's how long PW's been around. He is no different to some of us in chat, like Coop and Razorback and others. Been around a long time from the small cap days. Paid his dues. He definitely paid his dues. Yeah, Ross had to pay out, but it wasn't for that. It was an SEC charge, but it wasn't for that. It was for something else. He got done like 1.5 mil or something. Hey, Scotty boy. How's it going, buddy? How is it going, buddy? All right, value is starting to move down here. We're building so much volume. Value will move down here very, very shortly. And POC is very close to flipping down here, folks. All right, if you're still in this, you're still looking for that previous day low. I'm fully out of this. No more shorts down here now. I'm chilling. Like we're done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this market. We've absolutely destroyed it. There's only so much you can take, or you can take out of it, and I can't chase it at lows. Discipline. So I'll read you some of the things I said yesterday on Twitter. I expected a reprice. I expected rotation, but the relentless bid is seriously impressive. Starting to question why I ever sold the 520 long that we took on stream in the morning. But honestly, I didn't think we'd go back to previous day value area high. But I wonder what happens when the bid gets yanked. That is literally your clue. That is me telling you. It's one buyer. It's manipulation. You got to read through the lines here. And even last night it said, guess the bid got pulled then. Like, who'd have guessed it? It's there for you. And if you're not going to follow me there, I mean, the main team, most of you who are here all the time know it. It's in Discord. It's in Discord. But less optimistic about shutdown ending, says the speaker. Is that what they're talking about? And Nate's funny. Can't see. Is there a link to let me have a look? It's just US House Speaker. Let me get this up. Let's reduce that. All right, so back into the edge of this high volume. If we trade through low volume, if sellers don't protect this, we will come back into this node up here. Right, there is a pivot here, but it's probably more likely at this point to visit this node because it's where it's built out volume. Let's see if I can get this stream up for Trump. Associated Press, is that the only one? It's the only one I can see. Put it on side monitor. Oh, I just see that email. All right, Apex have extended their 70% off and $40 lifetime PAs. When they extended that to 11th. What's that, end of the week, beginning of next week? That's good. You've got time. So those of you who are close have time to pass. You have time to pass still. Yeah, shocker, exactly. It's true. It's true. They tend to do it a lot. All right, still protecting. Sellers still protecting. But again, I wouldn't be short down here, but sellers are still protecting it for now. Are you just joining, Scott? Oh, you missed a banger, dude. Missed a banger. All right, previous day low is your target here. It's what they want to take out. Be very careful into this, like I talked about. It is a higher time frame, monthly, weekly, daily pivot into this area here. If they fade this, they let go of that old POC. What's this level here? 185 would be the next level I'd be looking at. Let me draw these old point of controls on because it might start mattering. All right, I'd say into here. Can we thin that out a bit? These are old naked points of control which haven't been tested. Okay, but I would somewhat expect us to hold this. We are sort of thick down to 226s. So I can put another one on. But to be honest, if we got 226s, I'd expect 180s for that old POC. So, yeah. What's 85s again? What do you see on that? 85s. This here, the 80s, do you mean? Sinner, do you mean this? That green level is your previous day low down here. But more important than that, it's a daily and weekly pivot. Right, this is a daily chart. This is an old value area high. This is an old naked point of control. I still consider it naked because we haven't visited it in the New York session, which we're about to do right now. So that previous day low is this, all right? This is a massive level, all right? And then under there, we've got another one here. And then under there, another one here. So I expect bulls to try and give some form of reaction. If they fail to give a reaction here, and this is a big move. We were short from like up here for this move down. All right, and you're just runners now. You don't want to short under this. You would need it to build out a lot of liquidity to be short under it. All right, so it would need to do something like this: reject, come in here, offer a new short lower. But this gets in condensed areas. That's very different trading short here to trading short on something which has left trapped volume. Remember, we left trapped volume. We traded away from it. Yesterday was a squeeze up. We rejected that trapped volume. We're trading lower into this trapped volume. All right, so this is potential buy support. This is supply. This is demand. This is the rotation. If we get stuck under here, yes, we can maybe drift down into some other areas. But right now, you should be pretty much risk off. You should have locked most of it in. The easy money, the low-hanging fruit trades have basically happened. Right? Other than this is your final target. Anything beyond that is an absolute godsend. Yeah, higher time frame. Just always have that in your head. Zoom out, higher time frame. Where are we in the higher time frame? Are we in no man's land? Are we an area of interest? Okay, we're at an area of interest. Who's trapped in this area? That's what I'd be going through every single trade. Momentum and location. What is the momentum? What is the location? And then who is trapped? And that's how you'll find your edge in the market always. Right? Trapped buyers and trapped sellers is how you will always find your edge in the market. Even when we're playing, think about this move here, right? Ideally, we wanted to drift slightly higher, just slightly higher, but they protected it. Okay, so this happened very fast. So I knew, okay, we're coming for downside. It's late, but how did we manage to get in down here for that move? Yeah, it's a tiny little bear flag, but the main thing was buyers actually came flying in here at 550 and got stuck. So once we retested them, if you go back and zoom out to, I don't know, 1034, 1035, that gave us a reason to trade short versus it. So we joined late, but we still were joining with trapped buyers with the right momentum. Location was not optimal at that point. It was not optimal, but structure was fine. We had a reason to go lower, and we still had trapped buyers. All right, so we still trade lower. And until we have trapped sellers, we will not trade higher. And you've got to ask yourself, can you see any trapped sellers in here today? I cannot see any trapped sellers since 6 a.m. or some 9 a.m. for you guys this morning. All right, I cannot see any trapped sellers in here right now. This is a downside move. All right, this is going to complete this. All right, and if we build liquidity out here, we can break. Remember, markets also like to lure people in. As the other thing I'd say, we zoom, like if we just zoom out, let's go to an hourly chart. All right, just stick with me here for a second. Let me take flow zones off for a second. All right, think about what this market has done all year. Well, since April. Let's just go from April. Obviously, this is the new contract, so you can't see it. All right, who's it been kind to? Dip buyers, 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 dip buy. You get the point? It lures dip buyers in because all it's done is offer them dip buys, and every time they've bought the dip, they've been rewarded. Okay, so they tried it last week and they thought they were getting rewarded, and they didn't. And they tried it yesterday and they thought, okay, we're going back to highs. They were like, oh, it's just like here. Well, the difference is this supply held up and now they're out. And shifting your mindset from being a dip buyer to being a pop seller can be quite hard to do. All right, so yes, high time frame, we're still fine, but I'm talking about guys playing like maybe weekly options and stuff, weekly swing, 0 DTE, stuff like that. How long we got? 45 minutes left, folks. Alex, so with the structure below, do you find it easier or harder to move from level to level? What do you mean, Roscoe? What do you mean? Try and maybe I just don't understand. Try and elaborate a bit more, and I'll try and tell you what I think. Willa Williams, very difficult to shift mindset from dip buy to pop sell. It is, yeah, it absolutely is. It's why, even for me, how many times do you hear me on stream say, I think there's going to be a squeeze above this level to here. I'm not going to play that squeeze. I'm going to wait for the sell. Or when we're really bullish, you'll hear me say, I think there's going to be a bear trap down here. There is a possibility for a short down to that level. I'm not going to play for the short. I'm going to wait for that bear trap to complete and I'm going to buy it. Why? Because it's much easier for me to know my plan and get focused on that one plan when it's there. Rather than if I try and play the counter trend down and then the pro trend up and the counter trend down, like you can get your head in all sorts of pain. Whereas like if I wait for that one good setup that I think's coming, that's all I need. All I need is one setup a day, folks. Ah, okay, Roscoe. Well, so many POCs and value areas that overlap. So what did you say, Alex? With all that structure below, do you find it easier or harder to move from level to level? Oh, you mean if we get in? Do you mean if we get into it to rotate from the levels? Yeah, it would get tricky because we're basically going back into an old range. So yeah, we're going to a very, very thick rotational market. It can get pretty messy. And if you think about how long we were in there, I remember doing a newsletter for what seemed like 3 weeks pretty much in there. So it was pretty much from September to the end of October. All right, so we had a breakout. Over this level, dip held, 25,000. Dip held, breakout of 25,000. There's your CPI flush, dip held. All right, and then we go reclaim for a week. So everyone was ready to get really bearish in here, and I was like, don't be bearish here. Same as here. Don't be bearish here. It's the same thing. Don't be bearish on resistance becomes support. Don't be bearish on resistance becomes support. All right, we're bearish up here on support becomes resistance, right? Down to there, and then your runners if it wants to go lower. Unfortunately, with day trading, we can't really swing. But if you're in S triple Qs or you're short T triple Qs or you've got puts, then you see what I'm saying. From here, yeah, it gets tricky because you've got balance, balanced, where we broke down from, reclaim. Yeah, it gets tricky. And these are weekly levels. These are not even daily. So these are weekly levels. Definitely gets tricky as we go in here because if we fail to hold an auction above here, we're going to go POC, test the top side of value. Fail that, POC, test the old POC. From that, probably the next level of value and POC. And then we're going to go back test this level. Do we fail that? Back to here. Build out liquidity. And then it will make its mind. Okay, we're ready to go up for end of year. Maybe. Or where will the Bollinger Bands be by then? I don't know. But maybe if we start failing, we come and test these back level. Now, if we get down to here and we've moved, it also depends how we move. If we move aggressively down and aggressively down and aggressively down and we leave buyers trapped, we will keep moving down all the time they're trapped. At some point, a bid will come in this market. What could change the way this market moves? Well, let's say hey, Donald, you need to give all the money back that you've made from tariffs, which is what they're in court in over the moment. Possible. Or how about government goes back to work. Here's the NFP for the last 3 months. Here's all the CPI data. It's terrible. Right? So you can't rule it out. Cannot rule it out. I wouldn't be betting on it, but you can't rule it out. Right, have we taken it yet? We're very close. You came very, very close there again. But how do you know you're reading the market correctly for the day? I feel like I find out after bad trades I'm not reading it well. Well, that's one way to know. I mean, I don't know I'm reading it good or bad. I'm just reading it. And if I'm trading badly, then you know, you take your stop losses and you walk away for the day. I'm just reading it. Who's better, Tradeify or Apex for a prop firm? All depends what your aspirations are and what type of accounts you like. I would say the growth, if you're a newer trader or you're looking to scale, like one account, the growth account at Tradeify is probably the best account to get. If you're looking for a cheaper account and you don't mind trading drawdown and you want to multiply up to 20 accounts, then obviously Apex. Still feels like that previous day low needs to be tagged. They're still bidding down there. They are still bidding down there. Is there much lower? No. No one really hanging out lower yet. I just think they're looking for a sweep of that and then make the decision. One thing I haven't looked at, which I just want to double check, is the spiders. Did we fill it on the SPY? Yes. Okay, gap now completely filled on the SPY. All right, so that is the other thing. All right, so SPY's completed its job. All right, this is why also another reason I wasn't very bullish. Let's just think about regular hours. What is bullish about that? There's flipping nothing. All right, there's nothing bullish about that. There is nothing bullish about that. If you're watching a stream or you're in an educational system or Discord that's telling you, oh, yeah, we're going back to highs here, then they're just not reading price. They're telling you what they hope's happening. You've got to remove personal bias, right? Who's trapped? How do we know they're trapped? What was that reaction yesterday? Okay, same thing, like what's been leading the market? What was the reaction on Nvidia yesterday in the last 30 minutes? That doesn't look very bullish to me. Talked about this at the open. It's not bullish, guys. It's not bullish, not yet. Not yet. Right, POC flipped now to the lows, like we talked about. If we're here too long, you'll get a POC flip, and you're going to get your previous day low tag. It's coming. It is absolutely coming. Here it comes. Here it comes. There's 300s. There's a buyer stepping in here, and he is going to get his face smacked, I think, into these single prints. And there's only one buyer there. No one else is even trying. I think you're going to get it. Here we go. Another buyer trying again. It's probably just some covering. You're going to get it. It's going to come. It's a matter of time right now. They're stepping on the tape. Here we go. This buyer gets slapped on. It will be 90-90. There's no real buying. There's some buying here, but there's been no real buying since 20s, 320s. So last candle was a straight sell through. Nihao, you asked earlier. It's just standard data. It's not a futures market. So just on whatever data provider you need for stocks. I don't know what you're looking at, but it's a standard data like Nasdaq or NSE data or whatever. It's not like a futures market with COMEX or CME. Same way you'd look at Tesla or anything else, right? Okay, how are we doing on the likes here? No, lots of you left because you made so much money so early, which always makes me laugh. Like if I do my job too well, you'll all leave me. 116 likes. Come on, team. Come on, team. There's like 250 of you in here at the beginning slamming this short with me, and you can't even hit the like button. Costs you nothing. What are your tools beside TradingView and Bookmap? That's it. Oh, NinjaTrader. I execute on NinjaTrader. That's it. Here you go. Here you go. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time. Am I re-entering short on the purple line? No, not like we're going to hit all the targets. So you got to remember, low hanging fruit is what? This is it. It's gone. That's the low hanging fruit. If you get really lucky, you get a drift down into these. But for me and how I trade, remember, we're just day traders. Our job is to make money in each day, and that's it. We have made all our money today and hit every low hanging fruit. So today we were short. Okay, we were short here for the breakdown. We got stopped out on the run out. We reshorted here for the puke out, and then reshorted in here for this move. Okay, and I got stopped out in 60s in here. So we've had 1, 2, 3. What's the meat of the move? That's the move, and we've had that bit, and that bit. So for day trading, I don't think we could have done any better. To re-enter short side now, right? My question would be, why? Trend good, even if we pop up, I get it, but why? If we've come to low-hanging fruit, what's the room left? If we've had all the meat on the bone, if I'm going to enter here with a base here, isn't that, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? What was the target? That green line's the target, right? This green line is the target. I haven't got a target beyond that. This is just, if it gets there, great. These are old POCs, but I've got no reason now to think we have to go lower. We've done everything that I would want to see it happen. It doesn't mean it can't go lower. It can absolutely go lower, but I'm not a swing trader here with you on stream. All right. If I was a swing trader, I would have been short from last week, and I'd keep holding this for as long as I can. Our job is to day trade. Our job is to take the low hanging fruit. We've just taken it. All right. So if maybe some of you are still in it, so you've got your TP here, maybe you have 5% left or 10% left. All right. And you can wait and see if we hit this POC or hit this. But if we come back up here, I'm not confident we're coming down into these, because I think this was the main run. I was very confident we were coming down into this area. All right, very confident we would come down into here. All right, I was very confident this would be the play. If you read what I said last night, this is after the close yesterday. Team, I'm totally unconvinced by today's move up. That close said everything. 230 onwards went sideways and sold. I'm not going to give you much more than that for edge. For me, nothing more than a squeeze out. If we fail today's volume above tomorrow, which is what happened at 9 a.m. for you guys, I'm looking for sales back towards low of week. 2-leg has possibly finished. We have structure below. QE can hold. I don't know what I meant there. But if we... I'll probably mean quasi. But if we build liquidity again, I'm looking for lower. If we hold the blue box and break out above today's value area high, then no short. All right, so 2-leg has finished. I'm saying 10-year bid up today. DIGC bid up today. Still have all the buyers from the 5 days trapped. This was the main thing I was looking for today. I was only looking for longs if we got back above value. I was not looking for dips here. I was just saying if we got back above value, as read at top. So to keep it simple, until we bid above today's value, I'm short or rotational biased. Open to longs on rotation if it offers. But the edge to me is to retest lows at a minimum. But let's see where we open. Sideways overnight would be ideal. It was all there at the close yesterday. You've got to have a plan, all right? That plan would have completely pivoted. Right, I would have been open to that plan being completely pivoted if this happened. No worries. I'll just say, okay, we're bidding above value. We're going to go up and test previous week. Fine. That's not what we saw. We saw yesterday's volume, which we took short yesterday in Discord, get trapped. That volume is protecting what? Zoom out. It's protecting these guys who are also trapped. So we want to use buyer's pain, buyer's pain, buyer's pain to come down to lows. You are one of 3 traders that have helped me in my journey to get funded yesterday. I just want to say thank you for your content and value in your streams. You're welcome, Danny. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate everyone joining. Appreciate everyone bringing positive energy, looking after each other. All I want here is a nice, fun community where you guys can learn. That's it. That's all I'm trying to achieve here. If you want to support the community, you can use some of the codes underneath for your prop firms or do the course if you want to learn more. There's absolutely zero pressure to do the course. But all the time we have a nice community here and it's fun, I will keep turning up. The moment it starts to feel like I'm battling against trolls, it gets a bit harder. So that's why we have to put mods in now. So in your Discord, I trade all day. It all depends on the setup, Roscoe. If there's a setup there, yes. All right, we trade it, and I will call it. So yesterday we did trade the backside a few times yesterday, looking for the moves. Okay, so you will see here I was trading backside after the blow off top. All right, it called out what I was looking for before it came, and then when it came, we attacked it for that backside drift back down into key areas of volume. All right. So if there's no trade there, I'll just tell the guys, look, there's no trade. I don't want to sit around here. But I always give the thesis of what I'm looking for and why. All right. So those are some of the advantages of being in there. I also, what else do you get in Discord? I give my swings. All right. So this year we're up massive on swings. We've had some great swings this year. So like I say, I'm not a financial advisor, but what do? I take money out of prop firms and put them back into swing accounts. My main focus on swings is long. The main focus on swings is long. Although I did get short on gold by going long on GLL. Why are you preference to trade from NinjaTrader over TradingView and Bookmap? I think just a few things: habit, speed of execution, ATM strategies. Just everything's there. I can just see it very, very quickly. It's just really clean. It's awful to teach off because I can't draw properly or anything like that. But like, it's easy for me to execute on. Giveaway time. Have we got enough likes? If we've got enough likes, I can do it. Oh, we have got enough likes. Okay, we can do a giveaway. Are we waiting for Nvidia to swipe previous week low? I've not looked at Nvidia. Can have a look in a minute. Reading the market can be difficult, but you read it like a book. You are amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, Javier. It's still difficult. Just because I'm reading it well doesn't mean it's easy. And it's just years of experience. It's all it is. It's years of experience. And it also, guys, I'm human. I will get it wrong. All right. There will be a moment on stream where I just see it wrong or get it wrong or get caught. It's natural. And it's going to happen. It happens to even the biggest funds in the world. What's the answer to that? Just stopping out. All right, really simple. Just eating the stop. Thanks, JJ. Troy, I can see you hitting 100k subs soon, Alex. You're a lot of help to the community. I wasn't profitable until I found you. Thanks a bunch, my friend. Oh, you're welcome, Troy. I can't see it happening anytime soon. it would be nice if we can get some growth, but I think there's a few things that go against me. The grey hairs, number one. Not having a lavish lifestyle, number two. I probably don't tell enough of my story, number three. Here you go. Is there continuation below or not? Do they come for that naked POC below? But again, there's no new shorts here for me. It's just way too risky. But if you're still in short and holding a runner, this is where you're looking for, these 180s. 180s will be the next spot. So right here, right now, is your gap has now been completely filled where you're trading at right now. Let me just check the top of that gap. In fact, let me check it on a 4-hour. I just want to make sure. Yeah, you filled your gap. You have filled your gap. So it's just POCs now. RTH POC would be 221. So 221-ish, 220s. Let me just check. Sorry, guys, because I know some of you are probably still holding this long, so I want to make sure you're looking good for it. Yeah, 221.80 on a runner. If they reclaim, like 220, so let's mark this out. 220 to 180 on a runner. 220. Like 220 to 180. This kind of box here. Could probably just do this box bigger. Would have made more sense, wouldn't it? If this is a wash, now you filled the gap. Obviously, if they trap bears, look at the delta in here. If they trap bears under here and we come back in, we go top side of the range and then a squeeze starts to happen. All right. And if we look at the Bookmap right now, it is very, very possible that's what is about to happen. All right. If we look at Bookmap, it's very possible. I would not be in any low shorts here. Look at the Bookmap. Look at the aggressive selling, which just came in through that. So we want 109 lot, 412 lot, 114 lot, 68 lot, 61 lot, and we've turned around, right? If we start reclaiming previous day low, they haven't reclaimed it yet, but if they start reclaiming previous day low, I'd say a hold of 65 and a reclaim of 82, and then bulls can start potentially bidding back up. It's counter trend. I'm not touching this today. There is absolutely no chance. It's bonkers to me to do it, but it's possible. It's very, very possible that a relief will come. But for me, beyond my appetite, I would rather stay short and hold runners or just leave it alone, because I think that you've got major fear in the market right now. But that's what I'd be looking for. If they hold, what did we just say? There's this single print here, 55s, and they reclaim 82s, then a squeeze will start. Right, if they reclaim 82s, they'll be looking for a trade back above here. Right, so here's previous day low. If they look below, reclaim this, come into this, this is your edge. If they build out here, that will start to trigger a squeeze. That's what I'd be looking for. Again, I would not play longs personally. It's not what I'm looking for, but I'm telling you what is potential if they reclaim. You guys need to trade how you like to trade, right? Oh, yeah, sorry. Here. So same thing on Bookmap. So if these sellers get stuck and you reclaim previous day low, right, it might be that it comes down this and then does it. But either way, it's a bit like yesterday. Once sellers get stuck, if you see this, we're going to come from here, test this edge of volume, sort of 20s, go through POC, and then through here, very, very thin. So I wouldn't bet against coming back up to here at some point today if they can reclaim, not if they can't reclaim. You're not bidding on a knife that's falling. You have to let it would have to do something like that, right? I wouldn't be bidding down here. In fact, for me, I wouldn't be bidding at all because there's just too much fear in the market. But that's what you could consider if you're adamant in going long today. But just remember, VIX is over 20. Major fear. In the next leg up for VIX, we will do a giveaway in a minute. I would be watching VIX for a move to 2050. It's literally on the money there. Yeah, 2050 from that pivot from the Tuesday the 4th at 5 a.m. That'd be the next move. Okay, let's get these giveaways. But hopefully I've got you prepared now. No matter what you're looking for, you should be prepared. No new shorts down here, and no longs yet either. We're doing Apex giveaway. Alex, would you talk about risk management? What would you risk on a 50k account? You have multiple positions entering and exiting. Do you either average down or you add into positions only in profit? Yeah, I only add into profit. I don't average down unless it's a pre-planned thing and I'm trying to absorb, but you don't want to be doing that on a 50k anyway. 50k account, once it's a PA, you don't need more than 2 or 3 micros, right? Especially on Apex, because the drawdown will kill you. You know, think about how big a move we've had today. We're down 490 points. It's plenty. Plenty. Earn the right to size up. Okay, code FCT in chat for a free Apex account. Just post it once. That's your code. That is your code. Give you guys a few minutes to do that. Yeah, just still basing out here. So no trigger point here at all. But they keep trying to sell these lows. If they're not careful, these guys are going to get caught. That's twice now. You've had huge volume at the lows. There's no big reaction here, but it's just worth noting. There's a lot of sell side down here from 275 to your current low. So 240, 275 to 240. It's been huge sell orders, and you're not breaking lower. You haven't broken up and squeezed them out yet, but it's just worth noting. Don't want Apex. Happy with TPT. Got my first payout today. Congratulations. Yeah, it's important that you find accounts that work for you. Again, massive seller down there. Guys, if they start turning this around, these sellers are going to get caught. It's a big if. It's not happened yet, but just be aware. What's the name of the volume indicator you used? Which volume indicator, Javier? Just before we pull the winner. This volume or this at the bottom? This is Delta. This is Sati's volume. I think it's Sati's volume oscillator or something like that. Okay, here's the break. They're still trying to sell. There's no buying. No buying. Nothing. There's literally not a buyer on the tape right now. No buying at all. It's all sell side. Everything here is sell side. So when they finish selling, because there's no buyer, we will move back up. Here you go. So back to that same level. I would. I'm not a seller down here at this point. This is the level that we just talked about. From this point on, I don't think you can sell. They just came flying in and got absorbed again. Okay, let's pull this winner. They flip this delta, they're going to be in trouble. Buyer stepping in now. They're trying to get that force back up. Sorry, I'm just watching the tape as it happens. Let's choose a winner here. Boom. Eduardo Gamboa. Hopefully I said that right, Eduardo. If I butchered it, I am sorry. Okay, this looks like the end of the auction to me. If they start reclaiming, then I think you're going to get the end of the auction. That is a good excess with strong delta at the lows where they've all now been caught. You're seeing it. Try and turn around. If this delta can finish up higher than this, you're going to get a squeeze out. Big ifs, but that's what I'd be looking at. Okay, Eduardo, can you shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com, with a screenshot of your YouTube, and you will win a free introduction course worth $99. I think it's about two hours long, and we'll get you some money off the main course when you complete it as well, I think. If that's still running, that offer. I think it is. So info@flowzonetrader.com. Sorry, we were doing an Apex account, weren't we? My bad. You want an Apex account? My bad, Eduardo. Free Apex account for you. My bad. Let me make a note of it. Okay. Do we want to do a course giveaway, guys? The introduction course? We can do a course giveaway if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll just roll it over for another day. But I'm still not taking control yet. They've got the ability to here. There's definitely sellers caught at those lows for the first time today. And the turnaround on Delta was pretty big. We're still in the same level. So if we zoom out a bit, it's just going to take someone to take control. Right, so I'll show you what I'd be looking at. Same kind of thing. Where did the strong selling come in? 87s here, 200 lot, 144 lot, 108 lot, 111 lot, 238 lot, 191 lot, 124 lot, 48 lot, 295 lot, 43 lot, and even down at these lows, 95s, 69. So the moment these guys start getting caught and put in pain is the moment you'll get a relief. And then you need to think about the next level where they want to get the relief. There's still strong selling down there. Oh my gosh, there's so many guys in there. It's crazy. This is a crazy. It's a crazy. You would need to get above this and then acceptance through this. And then this level here, you can see is where a buyer pulled his bid. And sellers are basically in control from there right now from 400. Which would be IB low. In fairness to you. Come on, Bookmap. Stop being annoying. It feels like absolute panic right now, though. Absolute panic still on the tape. Like I said, I'm not going to be a buyer today. Zero chance I want to be a buyer today. I'm calling what I'm seeing, but I'm not interested in buying a market that feels like it's in panic to me. If that shifts and I can see it settle down, then maybe we can think about it. Okay, let's give away a free course now. We're going to change it. We're going to change it because you guys have jumped the gun. So just type Flowzone, all one word in chat. And we're doing entry for the free course. While you do that, I'm going to use the bathroom. So Flowzone, all one word in chat. Okay. They're trying to flip that delta. All right. Let's see. Choose a winner. EJ. Are you here, EJ? Are you here, EJ? Great. Just shoot me an email, buddy. Same email, please. info@flowzonetrader.com. Just put course in the title. Screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you. I'll sort you out a beginner course for free. You're welcome, dude. No worries. All right. Here comes the delta. They're trying to do the move we've been talking about for a while. All right. Starting to see that delta flip. We're going back to positive. These shorts at the lows starting to get exhausted. This previous day low will be key. We're through the low volume node. And if it reclaims previous day low, it's probably going to want to test this POC on the session. And if it gets through that, 72s, and if it gets through that, all the way up here. All right. So hopefully you can see what we were just talking about. If you look at the book map, we were just talking about these sellers getting trapped down here. You will not see this from candlesticks. Not, well, you will, but it's, for me, I'd say it's a little bit harder to identify. But that this compression, you're going to come back and test the edge of these guys. If these sellers have already exited, there's going to be no more selling here. This is where you start to see this drift higher at this point. All right. Into that low volume node. So how we act here, remember, it's always about how we act. We come into a level, how do we act? Who takes control? Where's their pain? That's all that ever matters. How do we act once we get there? Coming into a level doesn't mean anything. How we act when we get there, it's the response to those levels which really matters. That's what really matters. It's the response to the levels. And so far, sellers trying to protect this old shelf. We're going to pull back into this volume here. If they protect this volume, they'll have another go at going back up. There's no buyers down here. Then we go back to low of day. Lots of single prints in that last move down. Buyers are trying to hold this market up at this point. They're attempting to come in. They're probably absolutely scared shitless and exhausted, and I wouldn't blame them. That's why I'm saying I don't want to play longs today. I would feel exactly the same. But it might be a higher time frame buying opportunity, but I would wait to see whales come in and say, hey, we're going to move higher before I'd even consider anything. VIX pulling back into these 20s now as well. So it just fell shy of that sort of 2050 level. And here come the buyers. They're going to have an attempt. That previous day low and the point of control, I would say, is somewhat key. Somewhat key. Back to previous day low again. On that first move, we left buyers a little bit caught offside up there. So I think they're going to have to reclaim PDL for them to have any control in this market. So you can see the two white boxes, or maybe you can't. Maybe I need to move this over. These are the white boxes. Remember, so we trade from this one to the top of this one. We'd need to get acceptance over this to trade to the top of that. That's where you're at right now, making its decision. Previous day low. So far, staying heavy. I am amazed at the amount of single prints. I don't know if anyone else, or the amount of imbalances, let's say. If anyone else is using the footprint charts, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's insane. It is insane today how many thin structures. Look at this last candle, down move candle. Not a buyer on it. Not a buyer on it. There was a buyer on it at 36 and at 37 and at 46. Other than that, there's not a buyer on it. Mental. Crazy, isn't it, Troy? I feel like it's if it's not every candle, it's like every other candle. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's why the ATR's been so big. But you got to ask yourself, why, like, as retail, we are retail, regardless of what you think you are. You're retail. You're not a bank. All right. Why buy here? There's no reason to buy here, right? We need to see a bank, a hedge fund, someone saying, okay, enough, we're buying this now. And we're not seeing that. So everyone that's trying and not waiting for confirmation, right? We don't get over this level. We come into it, we reject it. We don't get over it like we talked about. We would need to see it get over this level for this, and then that would be the rotation. If it got over that, that would be the rotation. Right now, gut check, lower into here now. This is the old POC down here, I think. One thing I haven't done is just check the Qs as well. Let me just check that. Let's go to one day. Yeah, gap is filled. Gap is filled. Let's check the balanced range in there. Yeah, you would expect it to stop soon unless we've got utter panic down to 602s. 600s I know has been a huge options level. Almost into lunch as well here, folks. Where's NQ? There we go. Yeah, running out of reasons to go lower for me, unless it's panic. Again, guess who's up today? Mr. Apple, 1/3% up, near all-time highs, relative strength. Love it. Absolutely love it. When this market bottoms out and finds a bid, Apple's going to be a rocket, because when you see relative strength in a market like this, it's telling you something, all right? Those are, when I see that on swing positions, that's the kind of thing that catches my eye. What has relative weakness? What has relative strength? Apple has relative strength today. It's up 1/3%. I'll give you a readout on everything else. Tesla, 5.32% down. Nvidia, 3.18% down. Microsoft, 1.81% down. Meta, 2.59% down. Google, 0.27% down. Amazon, 3.13% down. Apple, 1/3% up. All right, relative strength. I have global plus, Roscoe, but I couldn't comment because I've never done it. I can't remember what the difference is on what you get. But all you really, as long as, I don't know what the first one is, but as long as you get, all you need to see is this right here. You want the order book to the side, and you want the data here. That's all you need. You don't need any indicators. Honestly, if anything, I've put them on a few times. They're just getting away. When I put the absorption on, I'm just like, get out of my way. It's just too much. All I want to see is the current order book, the session volume profile, and I like having the DOM here just so I can see outliers. If I've missed them somewhere else on the chart, I can find them on the DOM. Yeah, Apple's great. And remember, we're still long from 202s. Okay, starting. This is the first time today I've seen an impetus of buyers, and this was all buy side, no sell side here. This is the first time we've seen an impetus from buyers. Still no reclaim, and it is lunchtime. This is the first time we've seen some impetus from buyers to try and do something. There was no selling until we got to 44s. So from 20 to 44, there was literally no seller at all. Remember, I'd still be watching previous day low and then point of control. Those are really the pivots if you're going to play this. Buyers are still trying to force this higher now. So they have the opportunity to come to the top of this first box, which is basically into 60s, all right, or 80s, shall we say. What was that last print? 77. Let's call it 80s. Reclaim 80s, then they're going to go for that move to 360s. All right, so this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get through here to get to POC and retest this. This is where we get thicker. They will want to protect this now and get a squeeze through here all the way up as you start to see short covering into lunch. This is everything we've been talking about. So no reason for me at this point, like I talked about, to go short either, because we've taken all the low-hanging fruit. That was the low-hanging fruit. Arguably this, I wouldn't call it low-hanging fruit. This is just speculative if we get there to these POCs. But the main jobs for the sells have been completed in this market, in my opinion. I'm happy to sit here with you for a little bit longer. We are done. I'm done with the day, but no worries, Talia. Thanks, Larry. Yeah, appreciate it. Any support that you guys can give the channel is appreciated. You don't have to do the course, of course, like, but if you trade with props and you want to use my prop firm code over some of these others, it does all go back into the channel. It just means that I can pay people out of the money that I make on the channel for things like the YouTube content, which I give for free. Not just the stream, but also things like the educational videos. I can get them to edit it because I'm running out of time to do everything. So edit it. I now have a guy to do the thumbnails and all that stuff. So it just helps support that. Still no reclaim of previous day low. Google now gone green on the day as well. So you're starting to see some relief from some of the mags. You're starting to see some relief from some of the mags. I'd be watching for a previous day low reclaim for a squeeze up to point of control if you're adamant on being long today, which I'm not, but that's what I would be looking for. Here come the buyers. They are trying. They know it's a big level up here. And single prints of those buyers where there were no sellers under 40. So buyers would want to protect 40 to 22. Right, there was literally not a seller down there. So that might be the end of the auction if they can protect 40 to 22. If they don't protect that, new low date. Here's the retest of those single prints. 45s, 44s. Trump speaking, is he? Oh, he's only an hour late. Let's not worry about it. What's he saying? See if we can get a link. Here we go. Billions and billions. So holding those single prints, holding the edge of this shelf, I expect us to try and push up to previous day low now, and a reclaim of that, probably point of control. As long as they hold 40s to 20s, squeeze potential. If they don't hold it, no good. He's fucking, pardon me, he's very funny. I do find him funny, man. He could be a stand-up. Not so good. Okay, they want to get this retest of here, and if they get through that, they're looking for this. Nothing's changed. This is what bulls are looking for. They're looking to trap the bears at the lows, get through previous day low, find acceptance back to point of control. So if you're bullish, that's what you're looking for right now. And the bulls have started to take control above 40s. Like I said, 40s to 20s all the time they hold. 40s to 20s. This is a huge imbalance. There was not a seller down there. All right, there was not a seller down there. So they've left sellers at the lows. Came over this. holding this through this, probably get to there. As long as Donald doesn't say something completely wild, that is. Previous day low being tested again. So you can see it again, the edge of the boxes we talked about. If we get through the one box, we try and trade inside the next box. That's basically all it is. No one's done it. No one's ever done it. I've done it. Okay, it's previous day low. I'm the number one. Is this all for Ozempic? I'm not convinced this stuff's safe yet. Is anyone else taking? I'm taking it. You know they're going to put this on South Park next week. They're going to have him feeding Satan Ozempic or something. Okay, for failing previous day low, they're still looking for that squeeze above previous day low. They still haven't had it. Now they're coming back to this single prints, 40 to 20. Bulls need to hold 40 to 20. If they hold that, they're going to keep trying to rotate through previous day low. So 40s holding here, like we just talked about, 40 to 20. This is where there were no sellers in this squeeze up. It's all buying. You just take the delta at the lows. It's amazing. It's not amazing. Did you hear? I mentioned Biden again. Every time I talk, I'm going to talk about Biden and Barack Obama. Dude, you're going to still be talking about them in like 4 years. They'll be dead by then. You'll still be talking about them. Just let it go. TrumpRx.gov. He's getting commissions on that, is he? So he's selling the drugs via his website. That is fucking hilarious. We're going to be... Do you hear his speech yesterday? We're going to be the number one players in the world of crypto. Yeah, so you want to make money from that. Trump coin went up like fucking stupid amount last night. And now he's selling Medicare via his website. Are you kidding me? Is this real? What is this? It's amazing though. Like you've got to give the guy credit. The guy knows how to hustle. Okay, they're trying previous day low move again. I think you're going to get it here, folks. So here's previous day low. So now they're going to be looking for this squeeze to POC. So 17s all the way up to 34s now possible. And if they start taking out, so here, they failed to move lower. Those were the single prints, 40s to 20s. Bulls held it. They reclaim. They're going to try and go to here. Right, so if you are brave enough to take this long, you better be paying yourself. Oh, God, getting all this in the way. You better be paying yourself on this move. All right, so if you took either that move to here, TP1, TP2, if you're taking this move, you're looking for this. Or maybe the edge of this, 20s, be careful, into this, and then the top side of that range. And acceptance through that can get a little bit squeezy. All right. So you can see, this is how the market operates. This is why I can see it, because this is just how the market operates. There are no if, buts, and maybes. There are levels, and there are reactions to levels. That is it. That's how the market operates. Are you guys listening to this? He just said, you can get discounted prices on these drugs at trumprx.gov. What a hustler. You got to respect it. You have to respect it. You have to respect it. I need to get into sell some flow zone courses for me. A proper grifter. The best trader ever to do it. Get them at flowzone at trump.gov. All right, here you go. You're almost at that point of control. So if you took it, just make sure you already grabbed some. Lovely, Scott. Yeah, really nice. Looks really good here. So into this edge, you can see the volume starts here, folks. So if you mark out this volume, Eli and Lily. Right, here's the vault. Right there. Reclaiming previous day low. If we hold bids above this will be a failed auction under the low. And we can start to reprice. You have some stops here. You have thick volume here. Bears will want to defend this volume here. And POC. And just try and trade down here. If bears fail to defend that, all right, you're thin above. So you have look above and fail, or you have base, look above, base, and into the next level. All right, so basically in the short term now you are long, all right, based on just what's happened. But overall, your structure is still very, very, very bearish. So you are long from here, really. Once it did this print, that was telling you long, but this can get sold into versus volume, which is why if you are long, you're counter trend because the main trend is down. This is your counter trend. You don't know where it's going to end. So you get a good position, you sell into each level. If it comes up here, fantastic. You get a good move. If not, then this is not out the question, which is why your counter trend. That's why I said to you, I'm not going to take longs today. It's just how I like to trade. We talk about it all the time. I try and take the pro trend when it's available. 3 drives, yeah, 3 drives as well. Yeah, I'd agree. The key for me is what happened down here. What happened down here into the key levels. And like we always talk about, it's once we get to the key level, we can have the levels marked. We had one level here, remember? Once we get that, what's the reaction? Is there a squeeze reaction here? No, we built up liquidity, we break lower. Okay, next level, white dotted line, purple level. What happens here? First time we trap them. First time, this candle here was the delta flip, all right, from heavy sell to buy. Okay, and I'll try and pull this over for you. See if it will let me pull it over. Where is this? Okay, from here was the first time we saw aggressive buying. So this is low of day. The selling got stopped at low of day and we started to move back to buy side. Buy side, sold, held this in balance, and look at this. Look at these zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's no selling here. This is all buy pressure. This is why I said 20s to 40s. If bids hold this now, we're going back upside. All right? We held. And we went to previous day low. Bids came back down, held. Now we're going to try and hold these for a rotation. Once they fail these, they can start coming all the way back down if they want. I'll get into this in the advanced course when I build it, all right? It's too much to do in on YouTube. It's takes a lot of practice and understanding. So it's better to do it on a course so you can just go back and do replay and replay and replay. It gives you an understanding of what I'm looking at. What is the price indicator on the right called? Global, what do you mean, my buddy? What price indicator? I'm not sure what you're talking about, my friend. On the screen that I just brought over. Are you just talking about this? This is just my watch list. These are the stocks and bonds and futures and FX and even my swing positions that I'm looking at, if that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about this, this is anchored volume profile, AVP. You can find it in here. Yes. So what's this one called? Forecasting and measurement tools, anchored volume profile. Right, we are absolutely done, folks. Do any of you have any questions for me? I'm going to get out of here. I'm not sure I will trade this afternoon, folks. We can set some price alerts. Like I said, I don't really want to take the counter trend longs, even though I think it could be available. But we've just been in a huge distribution day. If we just zoom out, this is just a massive distribution day, and we've just left node after node after node after node after node, and I don't really want to play the back test of those. It might become available, but I'd almost rather we just drip and go down and base and maybe open up here tomorrow and then play a counter trend tomorrow. If they want to do it, covering puts on a Friday would be great if they wanted to do that. Give us the other side of the trade. Yeah, Alvaro, yesterday I did, it all depends what I think's available, right? I'm not going to sit at the screens all day long if there's no trade set up. If I think there's a really good trade set up, I will either tell everyone what I'm looking for or I will actively trade it with them in the Discord. If I don't think there's a trade set up, if I think we're just going to go sideways and do nothing, I will tell them and I set price alerts. And then, if price alerts come back, sometimes I have to run back to the desk. But, yeah. Yes, every day on YouTube, Monday to Friday. 9:15, all right, we do pre-market analysis, 9:15. We do top-down analysis. InfoRisk, thanks for what you do. Watching and soaking and made me much better in the past few months. Greatly appreciated. You're welcome, InfoRisk. You're seeing big buying coming in here again now. Big, but it's all one side. It's one-sided now to the buy side. One-sided tape at the moment. All buying back up. So you just have to see. If we can't move higher, then it means there's still a passive seller on the tape. But that was all market buying back up. Tonio, good afternoon, lads. I'm in Germany picking up a Dodge Ram. Miss being live, but here to say hello. Hey, Tonio. Take care, buddy. I'm about to get off. Hope you're good. Yeah, look forward to working with you then, Alvaro. No worries, Eduardo. And as soon as I get off stream, I'll email you back. Appreciate you, Scott. Big love, my buddy. We're due a catch up on a call soon. Let's have a call soon. FB Discord. Discord is for members of the course. All right, so I'll show you. You have to do, and I'll tell you why. We talk about it every time. All right, you have to do the trading course, the main course. Okay, it's only because I can't be in Discord helping people who trade in a completely different way. So with the course, it's 20 hours. All right, it's very, very structured. And with that, you get one of the versions of the TradingView indicators and Flow Zone Discord room for life. All right, so one-time fee, $649. I think it's 10% off right now or $99 off with code FCT. I'm not sure which right now, but I think it's 10% off. So once you do that, the Discord is in there for life. All right, so there's no monthly subscription. That will probably have to change next year, but anyone who's already in is grandfathered in forever. All right, team. Hopefully that's answered all your questions. And big love. Thank you everyone for joining. Those who bring the positive energy each day and come here looking to learn and have some fun. It's also about having fun, right? I don't want to be at my desk not enjoying it. I want to be here and enjoy it with you all. That's what makes it fun. I want to have a joke, because this is I'm telling you, it's a lonely career otherwise, and it gets very long, and sitting at a screen, your eyes will start to deteriorate. My eyes are absolutely terrible from years of doing this and years of sitting at production desks before this. So let's make sure we bring that positive energy each and every day and enjoy ourselves. And everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Those in Discord, I'm going to set some price alerts, and I'll keep my eye on it. But, I'd say I will trade light if I'm going to take anything the rest of the day. The damage has been done. We've hit all our key levels. We've done everything we want to see. Anything else is just a bonus at this point. All right, folks, peace and love. Be kind to each other. And remember, use hard stops, right? Hard stops save lives. Take care.